Welcome to Tuesday Tea Time!
Yay!
You guys already hit the button once and went live for 5 seconds staring at my big fat forehead and then turned it off because I had the phone right here trying to get the settings all done and hit the button with my pinky and I'm like, oh no. So I had to delete it and load it again. Welcome everybody! It's Christmas week and we've got a gift for you. It's hot tea. That's what it is. You guys, you want to give yourself a present? Tea time tumblers have come in. Check it.
Nice.
Nice.
Those are so
They're on
cute.
bluegrassbling.com. Shop often, shop frequently.
Hey, did you put our names on it? Did you put Feisty and Tracy?
No, it just says Tuesday tea time. So that no matter who's watching, they can feel like they're part of the show.
I can't.
They're 20-ounce tumblers, and Caroline designed them, and they look like they got pink glitter. They're so stinking cute, but they're dishwasher safe because they're not resin. They're printed. So anyway, they're on bluegrassbling.com if anybody wants one.
Those are called.
Give yourself a Christmas gift. Give some hot tea. Anyway.
Those are called sublimation tumblers. You can put them in the dishwasher. However, if you want to ensure that they don't fade, hand wash is better. It is for hot and cold beverages. Ting.
Thank you for that commercial break. You guys, guess what else came in this week? Thousands and thousands of pairs of tiny hands.
Tiny hands.
What?
No, I don't.
Jerry hates tiny hands, but I love them. You all, today we have with us Faith and Monica, otherwise known as Molo.
Hi.
Hello.
They have some interesting experiences with the cult, otherwise known as paparazzi, that they would like to share with us. And I believe that y'all are gonna, you'll laugh, you'll cry, your stomach will hurt, and you might get a little sick. So I would suggest you don't watch this on a full stomach. I do want to mention, and as I did in the description, for some of you, there may be some triggers because we're going to talk about some religious topics because those are relevant to the conversation, and we're going to discuss some COVID related deaths because they are relevant to the conversation. If these are triggers for you, I want you to know that ahead of time so you don't sit all through hot tea. And we love you all, but if that is not a topic that you wish to listen to, we totally understand. That's why I'm giving you a trigger warning at the beginning. And can you think of anything else, Jerry? Did I forget anything else?
You know what? I'm going to attempt to do this entire tea time without the F word.
Are you giving it up for late?
No,
It's a little late.
It's early for next time.
So that way, the people who all complain that I say the F word too much, this is a tea time you might want to watch because I will not drop the F bomb.
I also, for appropriate upsetting sections, have my creative cursing. Create your own curse word flip book. So I will create curse words that do not contain the word F to describe things as they go along. For example, slut chomper.
That was not a good starting point.
Tit shitter. Okay, the creative cursing book. This is available on Amazon. It's called A Mix and Match Profanity Generator.
That's
because I don't want everyone to miss Jerry dropping the F-bomb. I want you all to feel like you're getting a full tea time experience. So while Jerry has made a personal choice, I will try to supplement with the creative cursing flip book. I know that some of the subjects tonight are serious, and I'm not going to create curse words at inappropriate times, but I'm fully prepared.
Dude, those hands.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Monica, while we have not officially met, I feel like we have become really good friends chatting for the last couple of months. And Faith, when you told me your story, I was like, girl, get on tape! So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Monica Molo because she has a lengthy tale to tell that begins in childhood. She was born in a cabin No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead,
I was
Mom.
like, we're not
Go
going
ahead,
back
girl.
that far. Close though. All right, so I'm just gonna hop right in. So I joined paparazzi back in 2017. You know, like basically when it was like just exploding. I literally had so I had a 1.5-year-old and a 6-month-old when I found paparazzi. The reason I found paparazzi is I actually used to clean houses. Me and my husband lived paycheck to paycheck with the 2 kids. I was a stay-at-home mom, so I'd take care of my kids all day, make dinner. I've already told this part, so I'm just going to go through it really quick. I would make dinner. He'd come home. I would go to work cleaning houses by myself till like 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning. So I would come home and, you know, like when you're laying in bed trying to decompress, like you flip through Facebook until you basically, like that's how I used to anyway. And I used to just fall asleep. And I was friends with, my little sister Steph was friends with Patty in high school. I knew her like here and there whenever like Steph would have a sleepover. Her older sister actually used to babysit me.
And that
And
was
this Patty you're referring to?
Patty who?
Oh, Patricia Shevlin, sorry. She was my upline in paparazzi.
Oh.
That would be AKA PP Patty, AKA Pulpit Patty, AKA by the Gospel of Patty.
Dude, those freaking hands, Tracy. All right, so yeah, so I saw her doing lives and I was like, what is she selling? Like, I don't know what this is. And I was like, wow, she's literally selling every single piece of jewelry. Like, if she, like, I was never interested in selling the jewelry. I didn't think I had what it I'd never been in an MLM. So like selling it never really crossed my mind. But I asked her the one day, I said, is there any way I can get my hands on this jewelry and bring it to church? And maybe like, because like we would have church functions and stuff. Like it wouldn't be at church, but like a lot of the people in my church were older women who loved jewelry. So I was like, if we had like a get together, like they could buy my stuff, I could make a couple extra bucks, maybe drop a cleaning here or there. And that's when Patty basically was like, you could do it, and I didn't want to do it because I didn't have like the exposure or the experience to do it. And she offered to buy my kit, so I was like, you know what, there's no risk there. I don't have to put up $100 to buy the kit. Like I'll just like see where it goes. And I agreed to it, and part of me didn't want to let her down, so like it kind of drove me to like work the business like in overtime. So I started doing the business. I joined the end of July. It was right before the convention that year. And I was like super nervous. So I had her as like a really big support person in the beginning of paparazzi, which is what I needed. Cause like my husband was like, whatever, if you want to do it, it's free. Like I'm not that worried about it, but didn't really support it. Cause like he never like cared too much for MLM. So I'm doing this business, you know, and I started succeeding pretty well at it in the beginning. And like I said, it was probably because it was in the beginning of like when paparazzi was blowing up. Like my consultant ID number was 89524. So I had a pretty good advantage. A lot of people didn't know about it. So I start selling it on Facebook and I'm like flying through the ranks. Like people are joining my team. I'm selling out every time I go live. And before I knew it, it was like, I think November, I hit producer. And when I first joined, I looked at the compensation plan. I broke down the numbers. I knew if I was selling like piece for piece, I really wasn't making that much money. So the big money was in building a team. So like I knew I wasn't going to touch any of my profits from selling the jewelry till I hit producer. And that's exactly what I did. So while my like story with paparazzi is like really frustrating and like I feel like I was very oppressed in a way, like mentally throughout the whole time I was with this company. I can say though, I've never been in the red. So I'm one of those like rare cases where I didn't spend more than I made based on the fact that I basically hit producer in 3 months. And then shortly I hit an elite rank with this company in 7 months. So wait, where am I? I had to like write a whole thing so I didn't like take too much time and so I didn't get lost. But okay, so I hit producer, and once I hit producer, it was like I put a target on my back. Because as soon as I hit producer, I got an email from compliance. Somebody reported me because my video was shared to a group, and I actually did bring receipts. Like I printed them out. So my first suspension was November 30th of 2017. And it says, it's come to our attention that a live video of yours was shared on the site No Rules Yard Sale group, which correct me if I'm wrong. If somebody shares my video, it's out of my control, correct? Okay. So they shut down my entire account and I responded right away because the one thing Patty did train us on was if you get an email from compliance, make sure you address it right away. Okay, fair enough. Addressed it right away. They didn't respond to me till December 7th. Can you guys read this? It's probably backwards, but December 7th, they finally respond after not giving me access to my account for an entire week. They finally respond and say you should only share to your friends and family on social media sites. You may post a link of a live video or on group pages, but not the actual live video. Like, that makes no sense.
So just out of curiosity, it wasn't you that shared your live,
Right.
correct?
Right.
It was somebody that shared it on your behalf. They
Yes.
still penalized you for it.
Right.
And this is a weird question because according to their policy and procedure manual, if you're suspended at the end of the month, you don't get you're not supposed to get your check that month. You're not supposed to get your commission check that month. And you were suspended on November 30th. Did they actually pay you for November?
They paid me. Yep.
Okay. And that's a question I ask because we are finding there's a lot of disparity in paychecks being held, people being suspended or canceled and not getting paid, but some getting paid. So
Yeah.
you got paid even
I
though
did.
you were suspended on November 30th at the end of the month when the month closed.
Yep.
But you weren't suspended on payday, I guess, which was the 20th of the next month. So
Yeah.
they did pay you. Okay.
Yeah, so I got suspended on November 30th, and then they didn't reinstate my, like, I was locked out of my account for an entire week. So I missed an entire week of ordering new pieces because I did used to order. I used to go live 3 days a week for like 4+ hours a night, and I would order the next day after I would like get my after people would pay their invoices. Like, I never spent my own money. I always like spent what I made. So like I needed them to reinstate my account. So that was the first time I got suspended. And it was like the first time I really got a taste of like paparazzi culture, of like the people who actually sell this jewelry. And like I couldn't understand like how just because I was like the people that weren't hitting ranks were never getting reported. But it seemed like, because like all this happened while paparazzi was blowing up, and it's like it seemed like everyone who was succeeding in the business were like not everyone, but most people who were succeeding who weren't kissing certain people's butts were getting suspended for stuff. So that was December 7th, they reinstate my account. December 14th, I get another suspension email in my.
So literally 1 week. You're back on for 1 week and you get another letter. Okay.
Then I get suspended again. This is when I'm like on the verge of hitting Premier Producer.
Okay. For the record, I mouthed the F word. Thank God my mic was muted. So it didn't count. So just saying.
Yeah, so December 14th, I get another compliance email. I'm suspended, can't log into my account. It's come to our attention that you're running a buy X, get X game, which, to be fair, it was against compliance. I was a brand new consultant still, was not aware that I was not allowed to do like a giveaway thing. Like all I was doing was a Christmas game. I don't know if you guys ever heard of White Elephant, but it's basically like you have a bunch of bags that have like fun stuff in them. And like I used to have a ton of people watching me. Like I used to have like at least 30 people watching my live. So like I didn't have 30 bags to just give people who were watching my live. So I wanted to like give the game to people who were supporting my business. So I was just like, okay, if you buy 3 pieces, you get a bag. First 20 people who buy 3 pieces get to have a bag and play the game with me after my live. To be fair, that was against compliance. I'm not allowed to do that. It does say section blah, blah, blah. So like section 511. But like the thing that never went away, like I can admit when I'm wrong, but the thing that stuck with me and this was like right when I started. This was 3 months in. So the thing that stuck with me the whole time was that feeling of having to walk on eggshells. Every time I went live, every time I hit a rank, I would literally cringe. Like, who's going to report me this time for doing X, Y, and Z? And it just like dampened my entire experience with the company, like always having to watch out for big bad compliance. Like it just wasn't right. So that was that email.
So this is what I want to point out, which I find extremely interesting with your story so far. You were in the company early on and this bullshit was already going on.
Yep.
I thought that this was something that started because the company got so big and there was these bullies and then all this competition. No, this has been the culture of craparazzi since day one. Oh, day one.
Yeah, and the craziest part about that actually is all like my upline, her upline, her upline. Like, you know, you get added to all these groups when you join. So it's like I'm watching all of these uplines literally have so much explosive success because I'm not saying I shared my video to a page, but they all got to utilize the groups and everything else in order to like jumpstart their businesses to hit those big ranks in the beginning. Like I know for a fact that one of the impersonistas, she shared her own live videos into the LuLaRoe groups, and that's how she got most of her team members. Because it's like it's crazy to watch everything that's going on right now with LuLaRoe going under. It's like everybody with LuLaRoe was jumping ship and jumping into paparazzi, and now it's like kind of the same pattern that's going on with this company jumping to another one, if you know what I mean. But because of those two emails, like I was literally stressed out for and sick for like 2 months straight, just because like I was canceled back or suspended back to back, and I like didn't even have time to regroup from the first suspension when I got suspended again. So I started, and this is like proof of it. I'll read it this to you. This is an email I sent to compliance asking. Oh, this is a response I had. I sent them an email every single time I did something, I sent them an email making sure it was okay to do it. Like that's how afraid I was of losing my business. I told you guys in the beginning that we lived paycheck to paycheck. And I gave up all of my cleaning jobs at this point because you clean like during the summer up here. I live like in a resort area in the Poconos. So I like didn't have that income anymore. And I was solely like trying to like pay off debt and like credit cards based off of like what I was making with paparazzi. That's why I was very careful about what I was spending and when I was spending it. So I got so like stressed out to the point where I was actually emailing compliance to make sure everything I was doing was okay. And like, I think one of it was like, this one had to do with sharing to groups because they respond to me, thank you for contacting us about this matter and for taking steps to avoid shares to group sites. I printed this one on purpose to show because I didn't even realize this till I was reading this just today. I feel like this company literally like feeds off of the fear of the people that are under them. Like they love the control they have over you because why would you send a response like this? Like, why would you send this? Thank you for contacting us about your own business. Thank you for contacting us about this matter and for taking steps to avoid shares to group sites. Like, I just think it's really gross on this side looking back, like that I even had to like try to defend myself before I was even guilty. And like I said, that was the culture of paparazzi. That was the experience I had from the very beginning. And not to mention, I had a team I was growing every day. Like I had at least 5 people joining my team every single day. By the time they canceled me last week, I had over 1,200 people on my team. So not only was that burden on me, but like I actually care about people. So like that burden was also on me for my team because I was watching my team get suspended and then watching them go through the same stress and traumatic like experience that I went through. And like I was trying to shield them from it. I was doing team chats like every night. Like it was consuming my life. I had 2 small kids. And right after Christmas that year, I got pregnant with my 3rd child. So I'm pregnant. And I have like really high risk pregnancies. And in between or after Christmas, I found that out. And then I went to EMP. So I went to EMP down in Philly. I'm like 2 months pregnant, and there was a girl that was on my team. Her name was, I don't even know if I should say her name. I'll just say she was a girl because I didn't get her permission to say her name. But there was a girl on my team who was canceled for something ridiculous, and she was like so pissed off and distraught, and she wanted to come back into the company. So I asked my upline, I was like, you know, she got canceled. She really wants to come back in. Like, are we allowed to do that? She's like, my upline basically told me, have her sign up like under the husband and make sure they don't use the same mailing address. And we never had this conversation if you got caught. Okay. Literally a week later, Ashley Gaskin gets canceled. So before I even like continued a conversation with this girl, I messaged her and I was like, listen, someone just got canceled for doing exactly what you're asking to do. I can't allow you to join my team. And I made sure to put it in writing, telling her that so that it didn't come back to me because of what happened to Ashley. So unfortunately, Ashley was the scapegoat for that. But had she not been, I would have been in the same situation as Ashley Gaskin. So it
So,
sucks that
I
happened to
just want
her.
to make sure everybody heard this.
Right. That's I'm just like
Really, because this is a big deal.
Yeah.
big deal.
You asked your upline
Which is
how
who?
to do this.
Who's your
Mm-hmm.
upline?
Oh, you don't want to.
You asked an upline. We'll just say an upline. You asked
Okay,
an
but wait,
upline how to
wait.
do this.
Let's climb the ladder. Who's your upline's upline?
So Patricia Shevlin, Courtney Kavaka, Mandy Heinch.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So who when you say I asked, which one did you ask?
I asked Patty.
And Patty's answer was, here are the things,
Mm-hmm.
but you didn't hear this
Acknowledged
from
that it
me.
was against compliance, by the way. And then said, but if you get something along the lines, if you get caught, we didn't have this conversation.
Well, how nice.
I mean, we
Plausible
were friends then,
deniability.
so like there
Let
was
me
a limit. There was
remind you guys, this is the same Patty Shevlin who came on Tea Time and said anybody who breaks compliance should be dealt with in the same mannerism. So if they're purposely breaking compliance, they need to be canceled. Not only purposely breaking compliance, but because it is their responsibility to read compliance. And if they break compliance, that is what you get.
yeah.
And it
Also,
should be dealt with.
this was after EMP, which was after October, just so you know. So
Fucking bitch.
this was
Fucking bitch.
after that first example. Just saying. So let me move on from that. So that was EMP. Told her she couldn't join. Was pregnant with my third baby, and then that March I hit Elite. So March of 2018, I hit Elite. I qualified for the Leadership Summit. I didn't really know if I wanted to go to leadership because I still had all those like weird feelings. But then I was like, you know what? It's a free trip. I need a break for my kids. Like me and my husband, I put my husband on my account so he could go with me, and we flew out to Utah together. She said you blew it. She didn't say the F word though, did she? Anyway, so we get to Utah.
I did
And
really bad. Really, I can't. I can't. I should have known better.
it's okay. It's frustrating as hell. Like when I get to the end of my story with this business, like there's gonna be a lot of pissed off people.
This is why I knew tonight was not the night for Jerry to try to give up this. I knew she couldn't do it. Not after this story, because how many times have I thrown the F-bomb talking to you about this story?
Well, and
Too
this is
many.
what it frustrates me because it's not across the board. And this is like another example of how like compliance picks and chooses who they're going to cancel. Mind you, like even like when I'm getting canceled for doing white elephant, like I know for a fact my upline and a couple other elite people were selling leggings and doing all this other garbage on their page and nothing was ever done. Like, so why am I being ostracized for like breathing when all these people are continually getting away with X, Y, and Z? Like it used to piss me off. So I'm to the point now where I'm going to Leadership Summit and I don't even really want to even do this business anymore. But I have this group of people who I signed up and I feel so conflicted. I'm like, I need to do this for them. I'm going to go to Utah to get a break. And like while I'm in Utah, like this was like this was the last like nail in the coffin for my conscience with this business. Like I get all the way out there, that group of people, like my line of uplines I told you about, like I knew, like I've spent time with those people, like in face to face, like in person. I get to Utah, they act like I don't even exist. Like I'm not even part of the group. Like I knew this girl like in high school. Like she's not even giving me the time of day. So like I had to go like search out new people to meet, which whatever, it's fine. I don't mind people. I actually really like people. So I'm like sitting here talking with people, like really getting to meet some actually really nice people. And she comes over to the table and she's like, I'm really proud of you right now for like reaching out and like expanding your friends and like not basically making me feel like thank you for not trying to be up my ass and meeting new people. So it kind of like just made me feel a type of way. And that kind of set the tone for my relationship with her the rest of my experience with paparazzi because you know, I get to Leadership Summit. I'm looking around and the people who got me there aren't there. I said this in the last time, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but it really like bothered me that the people who afforded me this amazing trip, which by the way, it was in Deer Valley, Utah, like where Park City is. I walked into that hotel with sweatpants and a messy bun, and I felt so freaking lost. I was like, I don't belong here. Like these people are like high class people. I'm like chill, relax. Like this is not my scene. Like I was uncomfortable from the jump. I didn't talk to my husband the whole week I was there. I was physically sick to my stomach because it was the first time I actually saw like how that, like, it's just the nature of this business. Like, it works off of like people's egos. And it was like, I don't fit in here. Like, I even came home and told my team that in a training. I'm like, I'm elite, but I'm not elite. Don't like put me with those people. Like, I know for a fact that I was on that trip because of you, and I thanked every single one of them. And then that was March. So April, May, June, July. I was on bed rest for 3 months. Couldn't go to convention. I told Summer that when I was at Leadership Summit. I was like, I'd really like to go to convention, but I just can't. Like, I found out I was pregnant right before the tickets went on sale. And I knew, like, if this pregnancy lasts like past 12 weeks, like, I'm not going to be able to travel to July when I'm due in August. So I had told Summer, like, I'd really still like to get my rewards for hitting elite, but I can't make it because I have like health issues that are restraining me from doing that. She's like, well, there's nothing we can really do. Like, if you don't go, you don't get your rewards. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, really glad I don't get my executive producer necklace and my everything else that goes along with it. So that was another nail in the coffin for me.
Shame on you for getting pregnant and not working your business more. Shame on you. But don't you know, we all sell $5 jewelry so we can be with the family more. Don't you know?
Right. So that happened. No convention, no rewards for me, which whatever, I got over that. I never had a desire to, like, after I experienced what I experienced at Leadership Summit, like, I really didn't want to be around those people anyway. So next up on my list was I fell away, came back after Dominic was born. I saw Mandy Heinz was doing a giveaway to reward somebody on the team and do an elite contest. So all my elite leaders, get your teams rallied. That was when she was going for the new rank that they announced at Leadership Summit, by the way, that she wanted to get. So, like, I knew why she was doing it. I actually asked my team beforehand if they wanted to participate because I didn't want to participate in it and I didn't want them to feel like they were left out. But I was like, listen, I don't really want to do this. If you guys want to be part of this, I know we can win because we have the smallest elite group and we really haven't been doing much because I basically went MIA after Leadership Summit and, like, most of them wanted to do it. They're like, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. We want. And I was like, you know what? If someone wants to win a cruise, let's do it. So I put up a poll. They all wanted to. Pushed for it. We actually ended up winning. She told me at like 11 o'clock at night that my team actually won.
Okay, so
And she wanted.
you didn't
Go
mention
ahead.
what the winning of the contest was. So do that before you move
Oh,
forward.
okay.
Yeah.
So this was her cruise contest. She
Right.
said that one of her elite legs someone on that team is going to win a cruise with her personally. Like, she's going to take this person. It's going to be a one-on-one trip where she's going to train them, mentor them, blah, 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 blah. So that's what I told my team. They didn't want to miss out. They wanted to do it. We won. She asked me to send the roster of people who were active. So I took the roster, sent it to her. The next morning, my upline said, we really want this. I don't want to mention any names of people who, like, aren't involved in this. So I'm not going to say, like, the person's name. But she recommended that they handpick this girl. And I was like, well, that's not really fair. Like, I had a team of like 400 people who were actively working their business. Like, I really think we should just do this the fair way. And that's kind of how we, like, ended it. I didn't, like, say anything else. That was the end of the conversation. The next day I watched this girl pick a name and I knew she cheated. She, like, had her hand in, and I watched her put her hand up there real quick and she pulled the exact name that my upline told me they think should win because we think she has the best potential to hit elite. Did you know this girl quit like 2 weeks later and joined Iris, and my team was left with nothing? My team that actually worked after they wanted to do it. I didn't force them to do it or trick them or manipulate them into doing it. They actually wanted to do it. This girl quits, joins Iris, and my team is left with zero. Another nail in the coffin for me. Like, and then when I brought it to light in my team group, I literally heard my upline basically, actually after that, she posted, it wasn't on the phone. She posted something online talk about shooting yourself in the foot because I told my team what happened. And they ended up sending that girl Mandy ended up sending that girl an iPad instead of picking somebody else to win the cruise with her. Because she didn't want to go on it. I know. Well, see, this is why I stayed away for so long. It's been a year, almost 2 years since I literally stopped. I just couldn't do it anymore.
Darling, dear, innocent Mandy Heinch.
Yeah,
You're
okay.
so sweet. So sweet.
I just rolled my eyes so hard. If anyone sees them on the table, let me know, because no. So that was totally rigged. And then, so the thing that I didn't mention before was life of the party. Like, I never bought into life of the party because, like I told you guys, I lived paycheck to paycheck. Like, I didn't have the extra money to spend. I was in the military. I literally got promoted to sergeant within 2.5 years after joining. Like, I literally like skipped a rank. I had probably 50 people under me when I was a sergeant in the Army. And I remember when I got that kind of power that I wasn't a Christian at the time, but like I always wanted to stay humble and I always wanted to serve the people under me and never ever force the people on my team or who I have like charge over. I never wanted to force them to do something that I was not doing. So when I hit Life of the Party Silver, it was solely based on the fact that I was buying and selling and reordering. That's the only way that I hit silver. So like I would have people come to me and be like, what's the breakdown? And I would show them like, well, if you want to hit this by this, you have to order this many pieces by here, but you also have to sell this many pieces to order this many pieces. Like I didn't just say you have to order 50 pieces by here to get here. You know, like, and I feel like that was like kind of the reason why people did the breakdowns like that was to like manipulate people into buying that amount of jewelry so that they could hit the ranks and benefit off of them hitting these life of the parties, but never help them sell it. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Like I was always the type of leader that like led by example. And had I had that like in the higher ranks going up, like I don't think we'd have as many issues that we have right now. Well, at least with the people that are still in it. So where am
I
I at?
want to tell you about. There's been about 1,000 comments go by to say thank you for your service and that it's because you have a conscience and morals and ethics, which I know you do, and I want you to know that people see that. Like your story is so moving because obviously you worked really hard to help people do what you were doing, which was stay out of debt, make money, use the profit for something positive for their family, not worry about ranks so much as just profitability, which is what
Mm-hmm.
we thought we were all trying to do, right?
Yeah.
Profitability. And the stories you're telling are just basically a horror tale of how good people with good intentions get completely undermined
Yeah.
from jump, right? From day one.
From day one. 3 months in, not even, and I'm getting suspended. Like,
You're getting suspended, you're getting purposefully reported for things you didn't even do, you're being
mm-hmm.
targeted, your upline is rigging contests, trying to tell you how to violate compliance to build a team so that you violate the rules of compliance. But if you do this, we never had this conversation, you're on your own. I mean, here's how
Yeah.
to be shady, but pretend you didn't hear it from me. Like terrible examples above you.
And
Just
everybody worshiped those people. Like, I just didn't understand it. I'm like, you guys are sitting on their lives ordering pieces of jewelry from them. So not only are they making money off of the jewelry you're buying, they're also making a profit off of the jewelry that they're buying. And they're selling it to you, who's now supposed to turn around and sell it for what profit? You're actually losing money. Stop doing it. And nobody would like, people who complain the most, like, wouldn't even listen to me. And I'm like, I'm trying to help you out. Like, I know that you like idolize these people, but like, you're not helping yourself. You're helping them further. Like, stop doing it. I'm not saying I'm perfect either. Like, I've had instances where like I was involved in drama too, but like the difference is I 99.9, unless something slipped through the cracks, I always, so if I was wrong, I always sought out that person and asked for forgiveness. Always. It even took me like, there's one girl who she was probably like my first or second recruit, who we had like this huge falling out. Like, it was bad. And it was like, it involved my family, like, and she lives around here. I actually just sent her flowers like a month ago, apologizing to her because I wasn't mentally in the right state of mind, which I'll get to in probably the next 5 minutes. But like, because I wasn't emotionally and mentally available for her, like, I reacted on my emotions because that's all I knew how to do at that point. And I recognized where I was wrong and I took the steps to like reconcile because I don't like having those loose ends. And, like, the one thing that this company has really just shown me, or like being a part of this has shown me, is like I really allowed people to take my emotions and run with them. Like I literally like put my emotions on loan thinking people actually cared about me, and they didn't. And like the next part that I was going to bring up was I got pregnant with my fourth kid right after all this stuff happened. And I don't know if this is a trigger for anyone, so I'm just going to like put this out there, but I had such bad postpartum, and at this point like Patty was gone. Like I would try to call her, she would ghost me. Like there was probably like an 8-month period where I was like just trying to get support, because it was like to the point where like we were in a new home, we were out of debt, like we weren't living paycheck to paycheck anymore. I didn't need the money. And it was never about the money for me ever. My husband didn't support it because it stressed me out so much. He's like, you're literally a glutton for punishment. Like, stop doing things that are like sending you on a downward spiral emotionally. Like, I can't watch you do it to yourself anymore. I had nobody in my corner. And I was like reaching and reaching and reaching for Patty, because like when I was hitting ranks and like doing all this stuff, like I was her best friend. But it's like when I needed someone, like I was alone, and I felt alone for like a year and a half. Like the postpartum was awful. And skipping to like this past convention, like she was telling people she had postpartum and got over it in 5 days. Like that was super offensive to me.
I was muted. I'm like, did you not feel so personally offended by that right there?
It made me feel like I was like really weak, but then I had to think about it, and I'm like, that's not real. Like I've never met anyone in my life who had postpartum for 5 seconds and got over it. Like I've never.
No.
I got off topic. Sorry.
I'm going to pause for a second. What happened to, anyways, we have somebody in the audience on my page named Doris Peter Ben. And she says, well, then how come I don't understand why you say that you have a hard time selling it, but nobody else in paparazzi says they have a hard time selling it? Okay, let's go to Michelle Johnny's team page, shall we? Michelle Johnny. I got post after post after post of your consultants saying, help me. I can't get anybody to buy this jewelry. Hi, everyone. First, let me say my upline is great, because God forbid if you don't, you're going to get canceled. She has helped me with a lot of questions, no reflection on her. I am at a loss when it comes to gaining more views, customers, and even interactions. I know that I do not go live every day, but I do it twice a week, and the same time pop-ups when possible. I also post wall drops, albums, photos of items available online to encourage shopping. I rarely have anyone on my lives, no interaction, and honestly have, and then it goes on and on. Oh, I got more. Post after post after post. Frank Diva's team page. Frank Divas. Ladies, seriously, help me. So trying to gain some new customers is starting a freebie Friday day. I made a post and listed how many freebies are available for that day. And all you have to do is claim with your choice of item. Free. She's trying to give it to people for free. All they have to do is post. I have tons of bonus pieces and decided to bless those in the VIP group every Friday. All I have is crickets. No one will post. What am I doing wrong? Should I keep on going on, you stupid, brainwashed, moron, paparazzi consultants? These are on team lead pages over and over and over again. Over and over.
Ugh. I used to like tell people, if you're not selling it, maybe this business isn't for you. I've literally said that on my team trainings, and people would be like, well, you're not hitting A-lister. I'm like, hitting A-lister and hitting premier director are two completely different things. Like, it's not the same thing. And like, I don't know, people just don't want to hear it. Like, I mean, I tell people all the time, if you're not succeeding in something, stop trying to succeed in it. Like, if it's not working and you've tried every avenue, you probably should do something else.
Monica,
it sucks, but
did you say that Patty said that she got postpartum and got over it in 5 days?
yeah, she said that on her, when she went to a convention, she said that on one of her posts.
Since we were on the same exact upline for the most part, where was Patty for about 3 months with any sort of Sunshine Squad team chats? She was out with postpartum.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
Or was she?
I don't
I
know.
don't know. She started coming back on like somewhere in the middle of the night to like have these weird chit chats when she was up, I guess, feeding Carrie, the little baby. And if she was over it in 5 days, well, then I guess I time warped for about 2-3 months because she was gone. So I'm sorry she said that to you because she's a liar.
She didn't say it to me, but like she put it up
No, I
there.
mean about that, just in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah. I don't know why she had to put that. Like you should have just showed up to convention late if that was your plan. Like that was just a weird, well, that's a weird like side road to take. It kind of just offended a lot of people along the way. But like, I mean, if that's what makes you feel better, like, I don't know.
She
I
was in,
promise you guys, like,
apparently she was in Mississippi healing with her
yeah,
family, trying to get, or something, trying to come to some sort of
yeah,
acceptance over her postpartum, and then decided to show up at convention for the last like
yeah.
36 hours.
Yeah, which she said she stood in line for 24 hours while people were standing in line to hug her for 24 hours. I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
great. So actually, right after that, which brings me, my sister's supposed to get on. I don't know where she's at. Danny, are you still watching? If she's watching, Tracy,
Yeah,
can you send her the link?
I see her. She
Yep. Let me see. Well, I don't know if I'm friends with her, but I'll try.
So that question is really good though. Like, where's Patty? Like, I thought we were friends. I hadn't seen Patty or heard from her. She hasn't responded to any of my phone number or calls, none of my text messages. And I'm like, yo, did I do something to you? And every time it was like we reconnected, I was the one that was at fault. Like I was the bad friend. So like I don't know if you guys saw this, like back in September, there was like this thing that went on where she was like literally telling people, like my friend Sophia had a baby pass away. I had a baby pass away. Trigger alert. Trigger warning. Sorry guys, should have said that first. Trigger. If you guys had a loss of a child, definitely like leave right now because this next part, I'm sure Faith probably can speak into this too, but she supposedly did this Bible study or something where she was like telling people like you didn't pray hard enough, that's why you lost a baby. You're not blessed with financial gain because you don't have enough faith, all this stuff. So I got wind of it. People were in my inbox telling me because we have mutual friends. So I just put up a post and I did apologize to her for this. And I brought this up the last time. But what happened after this, I don't know, because she blocked me. My sister is actually the one who that's why I want her to come on and speak this because she was in the midst of all this. But basically I put up a post saying like, if anyone is teaching you that God's a genie, they don't know the real God. And she actually commented on that post like, if use your platform to like speak truth or whatever your truth is or whatever. So I did just that. And I started posting like real Bible verses and like comparing the prosperity gospel, which is what she preaches, to the actual gospel. And I put them side by side. And then she blocked me on Facebook or unfriended me. And then her husband unfriended me. And then she continued, or she said she was going to dispute this meme and basically mocked me the entire time without saying my name because she knows it's against compliance to talk bad about other paparazzi consultants. But my sister knew who she was talking about, so she hopped on. I don't know if she's like in here or if she wants to hop on, but this would be her time to like get on. And Faith, if you want to add anything to that, because I know like you said you had something to say about into that too, like.
I sent her the link. She can, if she clicks through and registers, I'll bring her on as soon as she does, if she can do it.
Okay.
The only thing, I mean, the other night on Clubhouse when we were discussing, how how there was another girl that came on to speak, and I was watching that live when Patty's assistant started to bleed, and she thought she was miscarrying. Trigger.
No, I'm saying this
Okay.
story is fucking gross.
It is gross, but I'm allowed to tell it from um, the other consultant's position. So I spoke to her today. So, Patty was the one taking her assistant to the hospital, and fortunately, the assistant's baby lived. She did not miscarry, but Patty went live and said that it was her praying and her prophecy that that child lived. Now, there was another consultant on that live who was pregnant with natural quintuplets. She ended up losing one of the 5. So Patty knew that, and Patty still went along the lines of, well, if you're not praying hard enough, this is what happens.
Does anybody else want to fucking punch her in the tits right now?
So apparently my Bible's missing the gospel according to Patty Shevlin.
This calls for another creative curse. I'm going to flip this book.
They've been pretty good. I've been trying not to laugh the whole time reading those. Oh, that's a good one. But the same thing when I called about convention. I'm leery about going anywhere with COVID anyway because of my immune system. But I had called paparazzi themselves and said, what are the accommodations for disabled people because I'm in a wheelchair, and they said there are no accommodations for someone that's in a wheelchair. I said, what do you mean? They go, well, you would never be able to get up to the stage. You really won't be able to see into the showcases, to see the Z pieces or whatever was in the showcases, what have you. But don't worry, there is one section where you'd be welcomed, and that would be where they rope off the people that are in the wheelchair. So you're off to the side and can see the stage, which basically made me feel like, so we're not seen, so we're not in anybody's view.
I can tell you one place you'd have been welcome, and that's the checkout line.
So I said, okay, well, I don't think I'm going to go, and they're like, well, we really don't, it's not really conducive, I said, well, what if I brought a nurse with me? Well, she's not a consultant, so you'd have to buy her a ticket. We can't really discount anything. It was no. And the reason that's, triggered me off was one of the tea times that I had seen that you had talked about the cruise, Tracy, and about the man's parts of the wheelchair, because that would have been me then.
I cannot describe to you how absolutely astounded and disgusted I was that someone looked right at this man and said, no, I'm sorry, we're not going to accommodate you, period.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what they told me. When I got onto Fashion Fix, I joined Fashion Fix, finally got off the wait list, and I couldn't afford the $85.99 the following month. So I called paparazzi and I explained my situation, that I was disabled, I'm on a tight income, blah, blah, blah. They said, well, that's really too bad. You'd have to wait 12 months to get back on. You sure you can't borrow the money from someone? So then, of course,
Oh, I'm sorry. They just encouraged you. Go into more debt. Oh, you can't come up with the money for that? Can't you rope somebody else into it?
Well, and then it was suggested that I use Klarna.
Oh, of course, because magically you're just going to get the assets over 4 weeks. They're just going to magically appear.
Right. But I'm going to let Monica's sister talk because.
So Danny has hopped on, Mo.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you? Should I show myself? I look really bad.
No one cares what you look like, but that's totally up to you, girl.
You look just like me. It's okay.
Yeah, sort of. So am I telling you a story about Patty?
Look,
yeah,
we got.
So I get. Go ahead.
No. Is that what I'm doing?
It's so dark.
Yes.
I know.
In here,
turn a
yeah,
light
I'm
on.
like in a cave. I can't hear on this like app thing with the volume, so I had to like crawl in a hole where there's no puppies or children.
Oh, good luck with that, right?
Yeah.
This looks like one of those interviews
was
where someone's afraid for their lives, so they block their identity.
I was in quarantine off my honeymoon, and Bo was actually telling me about Patty making this like what is it, story on her profile.
Yeah,
about
she was like
her saying something about God's not a genie, which I agree with. Like, I'm not as Christian as Mo is, like, at all, but sorry, I'm like really nervous. So when I saw it, I called her and I was like, yo, are you like seeing this? She's like, no, what do you mean? So she had blocked Monica so that she could talk crap about Monica's religious beliefs because they didn't line up with hers.
Oh, but she's such a Christian.
Yeah, exactly. So
she blocked her so she could talk behind her back?
Yeah, so I hopped on and started trashing her.
I need a minute.
Wait a minute. Doesn't it sound like Karma Chameleon making fake accounts and attacking people?
100%.
Piece of shit.
Except she forgot to block me. So naturally.
Oh, you're blocked now though.
You're not. Yeah, I'm blocked again. Well, I'm blocked now. Monica's not blocked, but I'm blocked because I called her PP Patty on your last tea time. Whatever. Bye, hater.
I'm hoping she doesn't graduate to poo poo patty because nobody wants to put up with that.
I just don't understand how she does all this shady shit all the time and she's never canceled. I have nothing to do with paparazzi. I was kind of like Mo's wingman in the middle of, or in the beginning of her career, so I was just having fun with it. And then as the drama set in, I dipped. I was like, bye. Like,
Yo, she was here for all of it too. Like
yeah,
every
behind the
email,
scenes, of
everything.
course.
She can attest to everything I went through.
Oh, and then the other thing was she invited me over to her house and she had like this stockpile of leggings that she was also selling low key. Didn't get canceled for that.
I'm sorry, you're the first person to talk about
Oh, you
Patty's
didn't know?
legging
Patty
business.
had a
Please
whole legging
elaborate.
business that she was selling low key. That's cute.
On
Kind of,
her own page, on the same page as paparazzi.
Yeah,
kind
on the
of like
same
how,
page. You guys didn't know?
but see, kind of like how Erica Cole currently sells her sweatshirts on the
Yeah,
same page as her paparazzi, but she's allowed to, while other people can't sell Girl Scout cookies.
exactly.
Look at Tracy.
I had to clean out my ears and make sure they were not blocked.
And it's funny because when I called her out, she never came at me because I don't know her shit, right? Because I was never under her. She was never my upline. I had nothing to do with paparazzi. So I'll sing all the songs. I really don't care.
Which, by the way, you can tell who's telling the truth, but I didn't delete a single thing on my Molo page. You guys go ahead and scroll right ahead back to the middle to end of September and see exactly what I posted, what the response were. I have everything still there. Didn't need to delete it because I was telling the truth. But everything that she did to try to make me look bad or mock me
Boom.
was deleted. Everything. Good thing I got screen recordings. I could have easily emailed compliance, but I'm not a paparazzi consultant in the sense that I feel like, oh, if one wrong is done to me, I have to do it to someone else. Because you know what? I believe in letting people's actions speak for themselves. Like I don't need to talk bad about you, boo. Like you do it, you do it yourself. It's really okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was, and actually right before that happened, I had every intention of coming back to paparazzi to try to like sell it again, despite all of the stuff I went through, because I genuinely loved my team. I had really good friendships with the girls that I had left. And this is like basically where my story kind of ends with, at the end of this is my last bombshell. So I tried to come back. All of this drama with her happened. Everything about all the stuff with convention came out, all the drama that was going on. I was like, I'm not signing up for this crap again. Like, I learned my lesson the first time. Like, the first time this happened, shame on you. Do it again, shame on me. Like, that was basically the mindset I had. So I dipped again. I'm like, I can't do this. And that's when I joined a different MLM. I'm not even going to mention that one. Started that one and was waiting. TikTok waiting to get that email from compliance. You know what that feeling's like, Jerry and Tracy. Like waiting to have that hammer come down. Like, oh, you're doing something we don't agree with. We can't control you anymore, so we're going to cancel you. That never actually happened until last Tuesday. When I tried to log into my back office, that's when I was on tea time last time. Last week, I came on for like, when I came on here, it was literally 30 to 40 minutes after I found out that I was locked out of my account. I tried to change my password, never got an email to reset it. So I knew that I was canceled or suspended, either one. To me, it didn't matter because in my mind, I quit doing paparazzi a year and a half ago. Don't care about the money. So like I hopped on tea time last Tuesday to stick up for myself because I couldn't do it the last 4 times or 3 times I was canceled or suspended rather. So I knew that I was either suspended or canceled last Tuesday, didn't give one crap, needed to get it out because I was going to explode. Came on here, slept like a baby that night, by the way. But before I went on tea time, I actually sent an email to them asking them why my account is locked out, why I'm barred access to my account yet again for the fourth time. Like, and they didn't respond to me because it was after hours. But I have to pull this up because I didn't print this. So hold on one second. And then I'm almost done, I promise. So I sent them that email, basically. Hold on. Basically saying, why am I suspended? To which they respond the next day, by the way. It's right here. Can you guys read this or is it backwards?
No, you're good.
How do you accidentally bar me access from my account? this was an error. Our apologies. This has been corrected. They cancel me or suspend me on a Tuesday nonetheless. They suspend me on a Tuesday. I check my account every day. I know it was on Tuesday when it happened. I know I got into my account Tuesday mornings and afternoon. So they literally cancel or suspend my account during tea time and waited for me to hop on to stick up for myself. And you all know, now that you all know my story, why I stuck up for myself, because this is what I sent to them. After they sent me this, I said, the amount of emotional damage that this has caused me is unreal. I haven't been like, I didn't say this part, but I said, I don't understand how you can possibly accidentally suspend/cancel my account without explanation. Good thing I don't have postpartum depression. Who knows what would have happened last night? I'm beyond frustrated and hurt by this whole thing, and it's unacceptable. That's what I said to them. And, just to like add another preface to this, I didn't say this to them, but I had been out of this company for a year and almost 2 years. Like, I haven't done anything. I've literally been low key, kept to myself, just ordered so I could get my commission, which is also bullcrap. I shouldn't have to pay you in order to get paid every single month. I don't agree with that at all. So I sent that to them because I was pissed off. I said I didn't care, but I really did. The more I thought about it, like, if they would have just left me alone or like made something up, like, oh, we canceled you because you're selling Bellamy, fine. Okay, I would have moved on with my life. But the fact that this is the response I got, that was an error. I'm sorry, but every single time I've been barred access, I've had an explanation. I don't believe them. I really believe I was 100% set up. Somebody reported me. I really don't think compliance works alone. I personally believe that, like, there's something going on with these uplines, like these high uplines, jet setter and above, who are literally seeking out people like me to try to bait and hook them to get them canceled. They had to literally look for an excuse to cancel me, and they proved it by sending this bullcrap email. Sorry, this
Well, they
wasn't
have to because they're desperate now. Sales are down.
Well, and I was explaining that because I was actually talking to, she was a Black Diamond Life of the Party this past year, which she was pissed off about because they canceled the trip for the Life of the Party. She didn't get all of the, like, the shopping spree, none of that stuff. They sent her a bogus, like, $2,000, like, Visa card or whatever to spend on whatever she wanted when she really just wanted to, like, have the experience of that. And she was pissed off at me at first, like, why would you speak out about this, blah, 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 blah. I told her all of this stuff that happened, and she, like, wants to quit. Like, she literally doesn't even want to do it anymore. And I was telling Tracy the other day, I'm like, I was thinking about you, Jerry, and Tracy, and I'm like, I don't understand how these two women, they may not have a humongous team and thousands of people under them, but these two women contributed directly to these people's pockets. And it actually makes no sense in my mind, like, business wise, thinking about how this business is. Like, it makes absolutely no sense in my mind why they would go out of their way to belittle and cancel you guys when you guys are the true ones in this company who are buying and selling for your own profit, not for everybody else.
So,
like,
I did have thousands of people underneath me. I was almost a Maven A-lister. My commissions were low end 20,000 a month.
But your sales were, or your personal volume, like, were right there with it. You were the highest, like, buying and selling.
Yes.
Which makes no sense.
No sense.
So, I mean, honestly, someone asked, Gayla Lee Connor asked, who gets your team when you're canceled? Your upline? Yes, it rolls directly up to Patty. Mo's entire line, which Patty was only getting a portion of, probably 5%, suddenly becomes 10% when Mo is gone.
And I had 90 personally sponsored. She gets them all. Whoever's still active. Like I said, it's been 2 years, so have fun. I don't think anyone's going to stay there after that anyway, but it just doesn't make sense to me. They should have been taking care of you guys.
Correct. Oh, and I never had phone calls from the founders. The only interaction I ever had with the founders was when I was supposed to be a circus monkey on the stage.
And that's why you were cut off.
Jerry, you got a call, an automated call when you hit Life of the Party. I have a real question because I'm curious. So you know how they do those robocalls for every Life of the Party rank that you hit? Did they call you and tell you hit Empire Diamond?
No.
What?
No.
Hello, this is Ryan Reeves. I am calling to congratulate you for hitting Life of the Party with insert Jerry's rank here. Access!
I stopped getting those phone calls the second year into paparazzi. And mind you, I hit every LOP before anybody else did. I was always the first to hit every single rank. And as a matter of fact, my first month, I would supersede the first 4 ranks of LOP. I was already, I mean, my selling was insane. My buying was insane. The only phone call I ever got from the founders was from Ryan Reeve to talk to me about my retail bonus and how much it is. Because I was buying so much, I would only do it on a retail bonus. And he said, wow, you sure know how to take advantage of that. And I said, well, you sure don't have a problem with the millions of dollars I'm spending on your jewelry now, do you?
Yeah,
So
seriously.
literally not even 3 weeks, not even that, 2 weeks after that phone call, why do they announce that instead of 100 pieces you can order, it's only 50? So I would have to buy more pieces of 50 each in order to hit that retail bonus. It was their way to control the retail bonuses.
That's ridiculous.
So, in case people are not aware of what we're talking about, they had something called a show rebate
Mm-hmm.
in the policy procedure manual that if you bought 500 pieces of jewelry or more in one invoice at one time, you got 10% of that
Mm-hmm.
back on your commission check as a rebate. You got a 10% rebate on 500 pieces or more. So it was explained to me that it was meant for people who purchase a large amount occasionally for things like a trade show or a craft event or, a fair, something like that. But when we got to be large enough consultants that we were placing an order every day, if a hot piece came out, you used to be able to get 100, 100, 100, 100. They would be
I remember.
dropping things you knew you could sell. Why would you, if you were transacting that much, why would you not buy the 500 pieces and get 10% back? You help your bottom line.
Right.
Because then you instantly get an additional 10% profit back and reduce your cost of goods sold.
So
How dare you?
I know every single order I ever made was 500 pieces plus. And I'm saying every single order. I wish I need to pull all my stuff, but literally I was making thousands of dollars a month on that show rebate. Thousands. But
Wow.
look how much money I was putting in their pocket.
I know. That blows my mind. Oh, we're just going to cancel her and shut you. They think they were going to shut you up. Like, do they think that when they hit the cancel button that you're just going to magically shut up?
Well, you
Like
know
you're
why?
irrelevant?
Well, it's funny you say that.
They think that because they've been so successful at it
For 10 years.
for
Yep.
10
Before Jerry and I started talking about this,
I'll throw you a bone on that one. I'll throw
thank
you a
you.
bone.
10
nobody I knew talked about it publicly. In fact, I was counseled by current paparazzi consultants after I was canceled that I should move on to my next thing. They were sure I'd be successful. Just, don't talk about paparazzi badly. We'll support you in your new endeavor. Whatever you move to next, let us know.
Yep.
As long as you, maintain a classy exit, we'll
Classy.
ensure that, everybody's still positive about you and we'll help you on your next journey. What?
The people at the top didn't get that classy memo. I'll just tell you
No,
that.
not the very first phone call I got when I got canceled was from Michelle Johnny. How she said she was so devastated. She agreed with everything I said, but we can't change it. It's just the company. And I could be so successful if I just make sure that I don't speak negatively about paparazzi so I can still get their support with my future endeavors. You know what I told her? Now I got to say it. I'm sorry, Michelle Johnny, you can fuck off. You can fuck all the way off. I will not shut up and I still will be successful, bitch.
You know what's really funny about you saying that? I was like, I wonder why Jerry is so upset, with not, I know why you're upset, but to say the phrase, you can F all the way off. I literally said that for the first time when I was talking to Tracy on the phone because I just cannot just thinking about like the whole 4 years I've spent with paparazzi, like that is literally the exclamation mark at the end of this last email that they sent me. This is the last thing I have for you guys, but like they accidentally cancel me on Tuesday, right? They reinstate me just long enough for me to talk to Tracy, get all of my info. While I'm on the phone with her in the back office, screenshotted every single invoice and order I ever placed on their back office, right? Wake up the next day at noon to this email. Or nope, this was 3:46 p.m. It's come to our attention that you are in violation of paparazzi's policies and procedures, section 414, which states as follows, which, by the way, I was not a paparazzi consultant technically when I was on Tea Time. I didn't have access to the paparazzi website. So I had every right, by the way, to stick up for myself. As a soldier in the military, my freedom of speech definitely proceeds and was way above your crap piece of crap policies and procedures. So as I'm reading, consultants may not use disparaging remarks. By the way, was I respectful when I was on Tea Time 40 minutes after I found out I was canceled? Pretty sure I was just bringing hard cold facts, and if the facts make you look bad, maybe you should look in the mirror. I didn't have to say a single bad thing, but your actions spoke for themselves, okay? So it says consultants may not use disparaging remarks in relation to paparazzi corporate staff, employees, directors, officers, or any other representative of paparazzi, including but not limited to other independent consultants. But it's okay that Patty admittedly made Karma Camellia and was harassing, which is actually against federal law, not just paparazzi's federal law, because they think that this holds weight. So that was okay for her to do, which she admitted to, right? But when I do it, you know, the one consultant that's been dormant for 2 years, when I supposedly do it, which I didn't, I get canceled. But okay. And then they keep going down to say consultants are to conduct their business with positivity and in a manner that uplifts everyone. What if someone's offended by like this like fake preaching of the gospel? You know, I'm offended because you're telling me that you're basically preaching the prosperity gospel. I'm not praying hard enough. That's why I can't succeed in this business. Pretty sure that doesn't uplift everybody. I'm just saying. Comments made by consultants that may be negative in nature and related to others potentially damage their own business, which that's happened. Businesses of others and the paparazzi brand. Consultants should be courteous, polite, and always seek an amicable, whatever that word is. I'm not the best at reading, but
Is it
resolution to any
amicable?
disagreement or dispute. Yes, amicable. Thank you.
Amicable.
And then they go down here to say that I'm entitled to my opinion and my perspective, but and in the same breath say that I'm held to contract with you. That's a contradiction there, buddy. First of all. Second of all, again, I'm pretty sure my first can't even talk. First Amendment rights afford me the freedom of speech. So when you do me wrong and I come on here and defend myself, just like you made an error and damaged me emotionally, I could literally say that because it pissed me off to provoke me to do this. What's wrong for you can make a mistake. I didn't make a mistake, but what's wrong for you can't be wrong for other people. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me. Oh yeah, and they did. They directly mentioned Tea Time in my email, by the way. Your comments on Tea Time, which were not even disparaging, they were just hard cold facts. It's pretty funny. I'm ending on that, by the way. Take it home. So I'm officially canceled.
I can make the full list of the violations that Patty Shevlin has made in this company that supersede by far most consultants' violations, and she's untouchable. To
They
include
all are.
right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you see it over and over and over again, and people want to know why I'm fucking pissed off. You want to know why I'm pissed off? Are
There you
you
go.
me? Why aren't you fucking pissed off? If you're a consultant in this company right now and you see what's going on, why aren't you pissed off?
They're not mad because it hasn't happened to them yet. That's why they're not mad.
Not yet, boo.
Yep, not yet. Time's coming though, because paparazzi's got to cut ends, and who's at the end of it? People like me who don't profit them anything.
Telling you.
They can't uphold their end of the bar because somebody said to me, but you weren't working your business. Excuse me, but MLMs are set up that if I work my business For A, B, C, and D, I'm allowed to collect residual income for X, Y, and Z.
I'm sorry. How long was it in between when Mandy Heinz went live? I think a long fucking time. The only reason why she's going live now is because, first of all, her team is getting cut. Her commissions are getting cut, and she's worried. She's very worried. So it's okay for Mandy Heinz to not go live for a long period of time, right?
Yeah.
It's okay for Marilyn Shavetta not to ever go live ever. Excuse me, what?
Yeah, basically. And I worked that, and I sacrificed like my kids, like my second son. Like I was so entrenched with paparazzi, believing in the lie. Oh, you could be a jet setter, you could be a maven, you could be blah, 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 blah. Like 3 months in, I'm getting freaking suspended. I'm like, how am I ever going to hit these ranks when there's a target on my back every single time I do something to in a step in the right direction? I'm never going to get there unless I kiss someone's ass. And I remember when I realized that, I knew I needed to walk away, and that's exactly what the Lord finally gave me the strength to do it, and I didn't ever look back.
And here's a thought, because this I wrote, and I swear I'm gonna pull this. It's so raw still. Here's a thought. How about supporting the consultants who are lining your pocket and pushing your fucking product? How
Yeah.
about that? How about
Yeah.
calling me and saying, hey, this came up, Geraldine. Did you know that literally they I can't even go into my story right now because I'm too fucking pissed. I'm too pissed. I'm just gonna mute my mic. I'm pissed.
All I can say is, I think the one thing that we have proven by having people come on Tea Time and tell their personal stories of what they experienced in paparazzi accessories is that their treatment is completely disparate depending on whether they decide that you are in favor or out of favor. You've got elite consultants telling you how to go around policy and procedure to reinstate consultants who want to come back after they've been canceled, but we're not allowed to talk about that. We've got, just in your case, Mo, just in your case alone, contests being rigged and you're being told we think this person should win.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to point out that if they did that drawing on Facebook, Facebook has rules about gambling on Facebook and having contests. There's also state laws centered around fairness in contests. I believe it's, I could be wrong about this, so don't like throw tomatoes if I am. But I think that falls under federal law under the RICO statutes. Like it's on like lottery, bingo, all that stuff, any kind of contest, any kind of game of chance. I think it actually falls under federal RICO statutes. So literally choosing who you want to win when you say it's going to be a random drawing is a legal violation.
Yeah.
But, we're not supposed to talk about any of that because we're supposed to be positive.
But
And they attempt to tell you, once you're out of the company, that your consultant agreement survives 12 months after the time that you are canceled or cancel yourself. Unless you're a compliance cancel consultant, and then you can never come back. And I'm laughing to myself thinking they're still trying to use the bite model, cult tactics, to make you feel like you have lost something valuable when they tell you you can't work there again. You're being shunned,
bye.
even on your way out the door. They're crazy.
Yeah. The thing that you're saying about the give, like the contest and stuff, that just reminded me, like, I don't understand how I can't do a white elephant holiday game with my customers, which I started doing for free. It never stopped me from doing it. I just gave it for free after that. I'm not allowed to do that to celebrate a holiday and to show my customers I appreciate them, just to tell them they had to spend $15. But you got elite consultants in here going for major freaking ranks where they're making 70 grand a month, who can sit on their team lives, spin a wheel, manipulate their downline to order 50, 60, 70, even 100 pieces of jewelry for a prize. And it's not even the prize. Like, It used to make no sense. I'm like, she's literally telling you if you go on and you spend like you buy 100 pieces, she'll send you 25 for free. It doesn't even make sense logically. Like, what in the world is going on? Like, I don't understand how that's okay. And like these people have hundreds of thousands of pieces of jewelry that they're literally using to basically manipulate their downline to order so that they hit ranks. Isn't that bonus buying? That's against policies and procedures, correct? You're not
Well,
supposed to buy more jewelry than you're able to sell in a month. And
Well,
here they are giving
technically,
it away.
just about my entire paparazzi career was bonus buying, and they had no problem with it because I bought tons of jewelry that I hadn't sold because I was storing it all back. I had two plans for that jewelry. One was I was going to open a retail store and I wanted to make sure I had 6 months of accrued stock because that's what I was told. If I open a retail store, I should have 6 months of inventory because you buy seasonally. So I shouldn't open it until I had 6 months ready to go. And second, I was trying to reach the diamond, black diamond, pink diamond rank so that my team would get prizes and we would all get these special pieces that no one else could have to make bonuses for ourselves.
Yeah.
My entire last 12 months of paparazzi was bonus buying. But no one ever questioned how much I was buying
But
because no one ever questioned how much I was actually selling.
They also,
Paparazzi never requires you to
right.
show proof of sales.
Well,
Never.
shocker.
they never questioned Erica Cole buying her LOP. They never question any of these other elites who never effing sell buying their LOP levels. They never question that. It's against policies. The only reason why they have that in their policies is to say, we're not a pyramid scheme because we have this in there. This is what it states. So we're not a pyramid scheme. Oh, bullshit.
Has anyone ever been canceled for bonus buying?
Correct. Correct.
Like,
Your
Um,
scheme.
because the
I
way you
believe that
bonus
there were a
buy,
couple of consultants who were family members who had sort of made a career of purchasing all the jewelry under the child's account so that they
That's
could
not
then
bonus.
sell it all
That's
together.
that's stacking. That's not
yeah,
bonus buying. That's
that's a
stacking.
different section of policies and
Totally
procedures.
Okay.
policies and procedures.
But the thing is even though you were bonus buying, which was benefiting them, it doesn't make sense to me, like how these people aren't held accountable who they're paying out. Like, just take one example. My upline, she showed me her income statement, like in her bank account when she got paid $75,000 in 1 month. You're buying all this jewelry and not selling it. That's bonus buying. Why the hell is paparazzi continuing to pay these people that much commission while they're making this much money in jewelry? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Meanwhile, they're teaching their teams how to violate policies and procedures, and then their teammates get canceled. And when they say, "This is what I was taught,"
Mm-hmm.
they're unfucking touchable.
Right. Like, doesn't shit roll uphill in that case? Like, shouldn't it?
And then we've proven time and time again with receipts and hard facts, Patty Shevlin breaks compliance over and over again.
what's the rule on compliance when like Erica Cole throws down a challenge to Patty Shevlin and then we have a rally night and we have to spend, on 100 PV and she'll put you into the running for a television or a pegboard or
And talk about manipulating
There's
people.
Yeah.
nothing, Faith, because they're already consultants. There is absolutely nothing related to selling to consultants except for they have to spend $5 if they buy it from you.
oh no, we had to order from the back office.
Right, but I'm saying
Yeah.
that's it.
That's
So
it.
you're allowed to incentivize consultants once they are consultants. Supposedly you're not allowed to bribe anyone to join, but Patty bought Mo's kit.
Oh, that's
She did.
true. Because
But
that
that's
woman
not an incentive to join.
that
Say
woman
you can
gave
join
away
for free. How is that not an incentive to join?
that woman gave away large screen TVs, iPads,
Mm-hmm.
Chromebooks.
But only to the people she had pre-chosen to win.
Mm-hmm.
So did she really give them away, or did
I
she
don't know.
just say she did, and then they said, "Okay, fine, I'm not actually getting the prize"?
One of my side papa sisters, she ordered a lot that night. She actually ended up you know, buying her LOP bronze status unbeknowingly. She didn't realize she was doing that at the time. She won 2 prizes, but she was LOP bronze.
How does that help you work a business though? And that's like Tracy told me too, like her upline would do like contests and then exclude her leg because she was maxed on that leg. How is that not proof that these people are literally just doing this not because they want you guys to have pieces, they want to hit ranks.
Yeah.
How is that okay? Speaking of ordering, by the way, I forgot to mention this. Before I deleted my Facebook, I was still part of the elite page on Facebook, and now that I'm not a paparazzi consultant, like Misty Kirby can't do chat to me, so here it is. She did this like special live in the elite page the one day where she was talking about bringing and implementing this new plan to help expedite ordering. And she told all the elites, if you guys agree to this, it was called expedited checkouts.
Listen up. This is where elites get a special privilege.
I
Listen
never
up.
believed that elites had a special privilege until I saw this video. And before she even dropped the info, she goes, if any of you spill this to anyone, you will be canceled on the spot. No questions asked. Threatening people not to say a word. So I'm sitting back like, oh, this is gonna be good. I think I screen recorded it, but I don't have my old, so I have to look in my like iCloud to see if I could find it, and then I'll post it in the recovering page to show you guys the video. But she was basically like, if you agree to this and sign up for it, you're gonna go through the back office when new drops. Everything you put in your cart, if you sign up for the expedited checkout, when you go to checkout, even if stuff gets lost from your cart, you check out before everybody else. Doesn't matter if an elite takes something out of your cart, you get what you get, and you can't complain about it. There it
But you
is.
get to check out first. So when
Yep.
everybody else is spinning, it's because people are in the cube jumping you. Jumping you in the queue.
Yeah, because
So
they
how
click
many
the
of you got
box
the
for
spinning wheel
expedited
of death at
checkout.
checkout?
Mm-hmm.
And during the spinning wheel of death at checkout, stuff fell out of your cart.
Yep. And it
That
fell
was
into.
because the elites that made that agreement jumped everybody in line to check
Yep.
out.
Yep. And we weren't allowed to
They
talk
got
about it.
priority.
Also, when I came back, because I deleted my old Facebook page, I came back as Molo. I was Monica Lomonaco the first time, and then I deleted my Facebook because I had enough of like paparazzi, the politics that were going on back in like January. So I just deleted it. I checked out. I came back as Molo to start over because I didn't want like the same following, and because of all the drama that was going on with paparazzi, I joined another MLM, so I knew they couldn't get me on selling from the same page. But I emailed Summer. And I literally, because you get like a personal liaison once you hit elite. I emailed her from my actual email and was like, "Hi, my name is Monica Lamonaco. I'm a fashionista. My consultant ID is 89524. I have a new Facebook page. The name is Molo. I would really love to be added back to the elite page." She completely ignored me. I was like, last nail in the coffin. Like, I'm done with paparazzi, 100%. That's why I joined Bellamy. So you absolutely get partiality. And if you don't kiss the ring a bit, you literally get nothing. Even if you're elite, like Jerry was, what were you, almost a Maven A-lister? And because you didn't kiss ass and you cared about your team, you got the boot. That's exactly what happened to me too.
I literally stuck up for my team. I would literally write and say, "What in the actual fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
What? This is crazy."
Patty
So
ran a
Mo was the
contest.
first person to tell me this.
Patty ran a contest where if you doubled your PV from the previous month, you had the opportunity to win a leadership training with her, Andrea from United Fashionistas, and 2 other people that I can't remember. I don't know what ass I kissed right that particular time, but I ended up winning and went into this training. And the entire training was about don't buy any more than you can sell, but make sure that you're doing the power of 15. So as soon as you sell those 15, you buy again and buy again and buy again and buy again.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Hold up. She told you to double your volume, right?
Yeah,
But then once you do that and you get in there, tells you not to order more than you can sell.
right.
Okay. Just made sure I wanted to hear that
Yeah.
correctly. Okay. That makes a
Because
lot of
that
sense.
makes all the sense in the world, right?
Yeah. And and at the time, I think I was so sucked in that I was like, all right, okay, I'll try this. And again, the whole training was about buy, 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 and their whys and how their whys have changed. And Patty's was all about, she might as well have been behind a pulpit with a Bible in her hand.
So you know that in the beginning of the year, the Elite Challenge was that we all needed to double our OV, right? So they say that they're not a pyramid scheme. Never ever, when you're in Elite, do they talk about ways to sell the jewelry. It's about
Yeah.
how you are going to encourage your teams to buy more jewelry. So they literally said that you will not be taken as a serious Elite if you do not double your OV.
That'd be me.
And as far as like trigger about the COVID, um, this just popped in my head actually when Mo was talking. When she had some leadership training in some house she rented in North Carolina. And she was having everybody, who entered or who she picked. And she made it very clear that there would be no masks worn. So if you're afraid of, COVID back then, that this isn't the trip for you, stay away, no masks, no like protection, no social distancing. And it was at the height of COVID. So when she came on and gave that bullshit story about, how she put her team on silence for a day, which she did do, but she was so upset over Temple Run. It it's a complete it's a juxtaposition from what her stance was 3 months before that. She bullshits and lies to a point where, you know, I'm so glad I woke up fast enough because thank God I only joined in January of 21. So I got out in 10 months because I just couldn't take the profit that, and especially when she told me, I wasn't praying hard enough and that's why I'm in a wheelchair and not able to get up.
I prayed really hard and God gave me an out. That was an answered prayer.
Yeah. I haven't prayed enough to get out of the wheelchair. Bitch, you don't know what I've been through in
She
5
said that to
years.
you?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
That's why we had Faith on tonight too, because um
So my papa's sister friend Laura, she knows I'm going to use her name. She and I would go back and forth because we both take our faith very seriously, and we were like, "This is false prophecy stuff. This is like
Prosperity
Mormons.
gospel.
It's Mormon stuff." Like I really felt like I was indoctrinated into a community, a commune. Because you're telling me my Bible reads the same as yours. I don't go by the prophet of Patty. Wait, let me just give me a minute. Let me have God, talk to me and tell me what he wants to speak and let him put it on my heart so I can talk. Are you serious? So nobody prayed enough. Nobody prayed enough to get these financial blessings.
That's ridiculous. I'm
That's what,
really sorry she said that to you.
Okay, you know what? I don't even think, financial is important. And I know that because I live paycheck. Well, we live paycheck to paycheck, but we always did. So, but you know what? More money would be nice. But you know what? I have 2 wonderful kids. I have a family that I love. And then when my mother passed away, because that's another thing with this freaking prophet Patty, when my mother passed away, it was not due to COVID, but she was in lockdown in a nursing home. So we couldn't see her. Well, I wasn't praying hard enough at the end for my mother to live. So you're telling me, woman, that during a pandemic, during a lockdown, that I didn't pray to see my mother? And I was in the hospital with one of my opportunist infections during when my mother died. So I couldn't have gotten to my mother anyway, but I wasn't praying hard enough then for my own health. I don't know what it's going to take to shut this woman up and down, but she needs to be shut up and shut down.
but here's the funny thing, because I want to point out how she contradicts herself. She said that everybody, when the consultants passed away after convention, she said that we shouldn't be questioning that because that was divine timing. There's a time to live and a time that you're to die, and that people don't die. I want to say, and I could be misquoting her and somebody tell me, but it was, she's not dead, she's sleeping, she's like in a stasis mode. If that's true and we have a time to live and a time to die, how could your praying have changed that?
It
So
couldn't
she
have been
talks out of both sides of her mouth. Both of her gospels are false, but whatever she speaks, she mentions it to fit
her narrative.
whatever manipulation she's trying to accomplish at the time.
Well, if that be the case, then I guess at the wake I should have just woke my mother up.
That's weird.
Right, Faith? I mean, did you shake her a little bit? Oh, no, you couldn't because you couldn't see her. What the fuck?
Like maybe I should have, said to the nurses, well, did you, try smelling salts? Like what? I don't. When she started getting the Bible study, all of a sudden we had Bible study now to pray for our financial blessings together, and she would read from the Bible. When did Christianity? I want to know when an MLM from St. George, Utah, is all of a sudden deemed a Christian organization.
That was the red flag for me wanting to come back. And then like I left when everyone was so like entrenched with like how much money they were making. Like I came back and like people were doing Bible studies. I was like, yo, this is a red flag. Red
It
flag.
made me
And
sick.
yeah.
And I had so much trouble getting, going live and actually like my sales were good when I started. When I started to get this like red flag warning from everything that was going on, if I sold 2 pieces, it was a lot because I was basically like, yeah, see, yep.
What are PPP
Because I
cards?
was so sick, I was having such an inner struggle with promoting these items when I didn't believe in the founders.
I know.
And I'm not going to say my direct upline because my direct upline, like I said on Clubhouse, is a great woman. I'm hoping we're friends after this, but but above her was crap. And I had the same downline: Mandy, Courtney, Patty. You know, then it went down to her sister-in-law Jennifer Dennis, then Anastasia Seymour, and then my direct upline, who during the pandemic when
Jeez.
paparazzi was slow, sent us all bling boxes. Oh, but not Jennifer Dennis. She would only pick like one person to bless with a bling box. Meanwhile, nobody had anything coming in, but there was Patty telling us, well, just order, because you know what? When shipping finally corrects, you're going to get like a box a day and it'll be like Christmas every day.
It's not Christmas when you bought it yourself. It's not a gift when it's your money.
And when you're using it to sell.
Yeah.
I don't, there's like you said, she contradicts herself on so many accounts. Like, and again, I just noticed something on her, and actually a girlfriend of mine, I didn't ask her to, she popped onto one of her lives, and now she calls, the sequins bracelets, the rubber, whatever the hell they are, with the sequins on them that you can go back and forth with the 2 different
The
colors, the
mermaids.
wraps.
Oh, the mermaid
Mermaid.
Yeah.
sequin ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now they're fidget toys, and she's promoting them for parents of autistic children to use as fidget bracelets. And
Who's
that,
doing that?
Patty Shevlin.
Yo, those things smell like straight chemicals. I'm
They
sorry.
do. They smell
Like
like
let's give
they
a
smell like
chemical
old school
filled
rubber
bracelet to an
cement.
autistic kid.
Yeah. And
Gosh.
that is still up on her PS Bling page, unless of course she's watching. And if that be the case, hurry up, Patty. Delete it.
I don't doubt she's not. I would
Oh, I'm
find it
sure
hard to
she's here.
believe.
And
Yeah.
I don't care.
Listen, if you're speaking the truth, like what's gonna happen?
It's not a fucking it's not it's not a fidget bracelet.
No.
You don't give these things to autistic children. What is that?
Well, if
What
you would
is
just
that?
pray enough, why would you need a fidget toy? You could cure that, couldn't you?
Well, that's true because she cured a miscarriage. So, hey.
Which makes no sense because like I don't even want to bring up her. I'm not even going to bring up her stuff.
And
But it's a
I don't want to say I
contradiction.
was just a consultant, but I had never had any interest in building a team. I was looking to, because my husband's on disability, I'm on disability. It's not all that much a month. I live in New York. It's expensive.
Yeah.
So, I was just looking like for even like an extra $1,500 a month, just so maybe, oh my gosh, ready? Order a pizza. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
never to be rich. It was to, hey, we don't have to cook tonight. So, I was never looking at it, and the only thing that it's starting to bother me now, like I purposely started going inactive for a couple months. And, 1 month I just liked the stuff and I managed to get one of the hot pieces. So I was like, oh, all right, I'll order. So I think I had 46 PV. So I was 4 PV away from being active. My mentor, she's like, why don't you just place a 4-piece order? This way you can be active. You know, you're so close. And I'm thinking to myself,
Four
no, I don't want to.
pieces.
I don't have the money. I don't want to do it because actually the shipping would have cost me more than the pieces would have cost me.
Right. It makes no sense.
And I didn't want to be, I mean, at that point, I was like, I don't want to be active. The following month, stayed inactive. And I was letting my rolling PV just dwindle down. And then after the ableism that was, you know, shown on that tea time with you, Tracy, with the wheelchair issue, I was like,
Mm.
I'm done. Completely done. I waited till I received my last order, called up, canceled. You know, I canceled myself because there was no way. You know, I would.
Well, you'll probably get a note now that you can never come back. So
Oh,
I
good.
hope
I
you're
hope so
okay with
because I
that.
would never go back.
There's not going to be anything to come back to, honestly. It's like watching the Titanic sink, for real. That's literally what we're watching right now. People are jumping left and right.
But it
So
all
though
seems,
Donna Lee is asking how long ago Missy made that checkout, the express checkout agreement. Do you have any like recollection of when the timing of that was?
So I'm pretty sure that it was last year. Like, because that's when I started ordering again, like when the pandemic hit. Because I was like, I'm going to be home. I might as well get some new jewelry. And I'm pretty sure that's when it was.
Okay, so
So
you're pretty sure it
2020.
was at the beginning of the pandemic kind of
Yep.
lockdown time because you were
That's
going to be in the
like
house.
that was the highest my volume ever was, to be honest with you. And like that makes it even more shitty than if she did it now. Like the pieces in the back office now were like the pieces I could never get. Like like the fact that she did that at the height of my volume is even more shitty for the people that were like just starting or like trying to like make something of the business.
I
That's
joined
So
because I was spending $100 a month pretty much on my own, you know, just for my own personal hoard, which
yeah.
now I've put in. If I keep 5 pieces, it'll be a lot. There's a few that I do like,
the
Yeah.
whole
but
the let's sell the bracelet like fidget spinners reminded me of how, you know, my very first real rant coming out on paparazzi was regarding the convention and the consultants that passed. And so many paparazzi consultants said, how dare I? Maybe those people who have passed away, their families don't want their names mentioned, you know, all this bullshit. So that way they were justifying why paparazzi was just sweeping it under the rug. You know that consultants literally took the hair ribbon bows, I don't remember what color, and said, hey, buy these in remembrance of the consultants that passed away at convention.
No, they didn't.
Yes, this is specifically,
oh
hey,
my god,
Bywater Pro. Aaron Bywater Pro. Literally selling paparazzi jewelry to honor the consultants who have died.
Wait, who was this?
Aaron Bywater Pro.
I
Aaron
don't know.
Bywater.
I don't know who any of these people are.
Hmm.
Can you just tell me that again, please? Please, just tell me that again. Just please.
So, you know that we were being kicked in the nuts for talking about these consultants that passed away because paparazzi refuses to talk about them. They came out with this hair bow, and I don't remember what color it was. And she said,
That's
all
disgusting.
we're all wearing this colored hair bow. I have them here for sale in remembrance of the consultants that passed away at convention.
I thought no
What?
consultants passed away at convention because we were never allowed to talk about it.
Aaron Bywater.
Yo, what? But that's okay.
That's disgusting.
That's okay.
Let me further my like line. Let me continue to line my pocket.
Yep.
I'm so glad I'm done.
Me
Like
too.
officially, I'm so glad I'm done because that's not even like that's like I didn't even say anything about this, but I had a consultant who like literally died while I was like hitting all these major ranks. And the matter she died, I'm not going to say anything, but like there were people like in her family that sold paparazzi that were trying to maximize on her death. Like that's been in this culture since 2018. This is disgusting. That just proves it hasn't gone anywhere.
And
So
she wasn't the only one. she was the one that caught my attention, and people sent me screenshots of her doing it because she's the one who started saying that I was bullying her and all this other bullshit because she used me as a prime example of why not to leave paparazzi and how you cannot be successful if you get canceled or you choose to leave. I came after her with a vengeance. Don't use me as an example when it's false, you bitch. So people sent me screenshots of her selling the bows in remembrance of the consultants that passed away, and that they all were going to wear this color bow, but she has them for sale in remembrance of the consultants that passed away at convention.
Was she going to use the residual income that she made from that and like donate it to like a charity for COVID?
No,
That's my point.
that didn't say it anywhere.
Was this also a consultant that like does the whole I'm going to use the Bible for my own financial gain too? Like, does she actually like preach the Bible? Like,
I never dug that deep into her. I do know that she's directly like she's up Taylor Kirby's furry fake ass. Crazy.
ew. Yo, that shirt he was wearing, I threw up in my mouth.
He's
Literally.
disgusting.
I don't know if she's one of those fake Tommy Johnson, Patty Shevlin, pray at the pulpit, give me money so you can bless your business.
That would make it even worse, honestly.
But she does say that she's a Christian woman.
I get so mad. Tracy.
I'll go ahead.
Ah,
It's
I'll,
hit a level of insanity
I'll,
that I can't believe.
Tracy, I'll send you those receipts.
That fucking cunt came on this show and had the nerve to say to us, well, what have you done to raise funds for the family?
Oh, with the
And that
GoFundMe crap
other
when she said,
cunt sold fucking hair bows in remembrance to line her own motherfucking pockets?
yeah.
Fucking hypocrites! Fuck you! Fuck you!
I guess somebody else is saying Rochelle Beachy did the same thing.
Fucking cunts!
What? And aren't they not supposed to be talking about COVID deaths? But here they are talking about it for
talking about it.
monetary gain.
But yet we
Like,
were all given a gag order.
that's
Consultants.
ridiculous. Yeah, like what actually happens? And these people get away with it.
Yeah, and apparently nobody died. I didn't, that was another hard thing to say. Like nothing happened. No, we're fine. Everybody's fine.
Tracy is going off.
And right after convention, and I do my video and it is going viral. What does paparazzi do? Challenge the elites to do sidewalk chalk with rainbows and sunshines and put paparazzi positive messages so that way they can promote their company in positivity. That's what they literally challenge them to do while sweeping the deaths of their own consultants under the rug.
That's insane. I mean, they send out flowers for X, Y, and Z. Like you couldn't even make a statement. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Well, I got my birthday message 2 weeks late because it was from convention, and in that text message from Robin, right, it said, "But make sure you place your order so you can get your birthday bracelet."
And that's the thing. Like the people at the top can sit there and preach like positivity and rainbows and butterflies because they're the ones at the top. Like it must be so inconvenient to make 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50, 60, 70, $100,000 in 30 days. But that's like the top point five point top 0.000.1 of the company. The majority of the people in this company are struggling, and I saw it with my own team. How can there be rainbows and butterflies at when the majority of people selling paparazzi are in debt? It doesn't make any sense.
I was that top 0.01%. And I wasn't motherfucking positive. I'll tell you that right now. No. I was angry. I was livid and I was angry and I wanted answers.
Then you're probably like one of the only ones that had the ability to actually still care about people while you were like making a living for yourself, because the majority of them don't care. All they do is gloat. I sent Tracy a video of this one chick who's one of the top leaders in paparazzi. I was like, can someone tell her this isn't MTV Cribs? Like, I would be
Right?
mortified, literally.
Right?
It was E. coli.
Of course it was.
Oh.
Of course it was.
I was just like, yo, you know that the people who are on your team who are struggling probably financially are watching this. Not a care was given.
Come on.
Nuts.
Have you seen her commercials on TikTok, who TikTok claims to be anti MLM? Have you seen her commercials on there? And in her car. And you don't think I don't make money? Come sell my $5 jewelry, bitches. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I can't. This is the same iconic who goes on Facebook and does physical threats to people. Oh, I can't wait to meet her in the streets. I'm going to get my goons after them. I'm going to feed them to the hogs on social media.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have all the screenshots. Mo, you don't even know the
Send them
level
to me.
of bullshit.
Yeah, that's the one thing too.
All of it.
The fact that you guys got up here, like, and just like started telling your stories and people are bullying you should tell you anything you need to know. Because listen, like, if it's your experience and your opinion and it's something you went through, there should be no question about it.
My
Like,
thing is, why are you fighting so hard to stand up for the company when they won't say nothing? When it comes to the lead and the nickel, why don't you just show us your receipts of your testing for
yeah.
Code 65, right? Instead of changing your website to not include lead and nickel free anymore. Your silence speaks volumes, Papa,
Mm-hmm.
while you let your leaders bully people to try to shut them up, because that's what you tell them to do. Just like they told you, Erica Cole, to send out an email to tell your downlines not to talk about the deaths at convention, right? Right?
That's ridiculous. And like, just the simple fact of like lead and nickel, like they took that off their website. Like, a lot of people joined based on the very premises that the jewelry
That
was
it was a lot of nickel free.
advertised as lead and nickel free. Yeah. And then to not even have like, it's one thing to take it off your website for your customers base to see, but to not even tell the people who are literally selling the jewelry for you, like, that you're taking that off your website and they should probably stop including that in their sales pitch. Like, that's disgusting. And I'll tell you right now, the girl that's on one of the top buyers on my team was so pissed off when I talked to her today. She was not happy that they did that, because now the consultant is stuck with the jewelry. The customers they had that bought it because it was lead and nickel free don't want to buy it. She used to have like 600 people watching her lives a night. She hasn't sold more than 50 pieces this month. It's December. Like, it's Christmas time. Like, that's insane to me.
I haven't seen any of like the people that I knew that, that were my quote unquote papa sisters. Nobody's selling well right now.
Nobody. You should have seen my
Nobody.
volume when they canceled me. I was like, oh, I'm going to cry myself to sleep because my volume was at 20,000. Wah. I used to be at 20,000 the first 4 days of the month.
It's awful.
If
The
any of you guys
Titanic.
here are watching Tea Time, I really want you to watch the newest Savannah Marie video where she plays some horrific things said with current paparazzi consultants and how deep the brainwashing is. She literally says, don't go listen to those other people. They may make you think.
That's not that wasn't the one who said that you were canceled after you're thrown out of the group after new releases, right? That's not
No,
the same one.
no, that's not Colleen Nicole. This was a clubhouse.
Oh, okay.
Their whole game plan is to have a paparazzi room every time we have a Crack the Crown room. So that way the paparazzi people have someplace to go to hear the brainwashing, and literally says, you guys don't go in those rooms because you don't want to enter negativity. They may make you think. She
Wow.
admits it. And this is a prime example of the bite model. They do not want you to hear anything but positive things because that's what keeps you in line. So please go watch that Savannah Marie video. She's Savannah Marie on YouTube. She's freaking amazing. That last video she dropped, it's PP Patty, is freaking good.
You know what's really weird too is like that one girl that I was telling you about on my team. She was told in one of the team trainings that like Patty, I guess, said that she didn't even do tea time. Like she literally, supposedly, this is what this girl told me. She told me that she was telling her downline and like teams that she didn't even go on tea time. Yeah,
So
because this girl was sticking up for like Patty. She's like, I don't even understand why these people are involved with like paparazzi. I'm like, well, they're ex consultants. We all have stuff in common. We've all been treated poorly by the company. And you know what? Honestly, I think that when Patty went on tea time, she actually drew more attention to tea time. Like that's when I started watching it. And I can think for myself, thank the Lord. So,
right,
like, at first, I was like, why are these people doing this to this company just because they were canceled? Because that's what they want you to think. But, like, the more I watched and the more I listened, I was like, oh my gosh, these are my experiences. I'm not alone in this. Like, this
correct.
happened to me. I listened to the Savannah Marie one where she blocked out your face, Jerry, and you were like telling everything. I'm like, this is me to a T. I wasn't a top buyer or seller, but this was me to a T. This happened to me also. So then I
But
was
you know,
like,
when Patty posts all those toxic, rants of hers, she deletes them the minute she's done.
of course.
So nobody she's not she's careful with how she's viewed, but not careful enough because enough people catch it.
And then when she can't deny that she was on tea time, she says that we cornered her to go on there and she was a victim. I'm sorry. Did you guys not see all the TikToks that she did of let's get ready to
Hold
rumble?
on. Time
Jerry
out.
Jerry will not talk to me. Jerry, I am going, literally, she said, Jerry, if you don't go on tea time, I am going to ruin you. I told her no over and over and over again.
I didn't know that's how Christians treated each other. I'm shocked.
She harassed me. I said, Patty, you don't want me to do this. I went on tea time because Tracy asked me to go on tea time with Patty. Because Tracy asked me to. I said, okay, it's going to be ugly.
I just wanted to interrupt with a little public service announcement that the hashtag relaunch 2022 and Glam Squad relaunch 2022 has just been registered to crack the crown.
Oh,
That,
making moves.
oh, what did you say?
I just wanted to let everybody know that the hashtag relaunch 2022 and hashtag Glam Squad relaunch 2022 has just been registered to crack the crown.
That is
Hey.
hilarious.
So
Wait, hold
good
on.
luck,
Did you just do that, Tracy? You cracked
sugar britches.
me up.
How do I turn this mic around? I have to show you guys a receipt real quick.
Uh-oh, here we go. We
Oh,
love
wait.
receipts.
Wait, how do I turn this camera around?
I don't know.
That I think you have to actually. You might just have to turn it around. I don't know.
But it's going to be backwards.
No, it doesn't. I don't think so. Let's
It'll
see.
be fine.
All right. Hang on. Right? These two people have made her death fuel, talking about temple masters, a hate movement, and personally called me out last night. So I'm coming with love and honestly and facts. You know me. 10-1 at 8 p.m., they're bringing me live with them to hear my respectful opposition. After I taunted them for over 8 hours today to finally get them to say yes. They aren't ready for my truth, and I'm guided with the Lord.
Yeah.
You forced her, though, right? She taunted you for 8 hours.
Correct. Correct. And then at the end, she said she was a victim.
Oh yeah.
All of her followers said Patty was a victim. Are you kidding me right now?
Well, it was talked about that you led her to slaughter.
She taunted them for 8 hours to be brought on TV.
I know, but she didn't. But
What,
And
she
not
didn't think the
that's not her
past was going
truth.
to come
That's not
back
her
to
truth,
haunt
and
her? Like,
that's not her truth, and that's not her reality, though.
this is very true. She lives on her own fucked up reality.
Oh my gosh.
The reality was what we all watched that night.
That's
Her getting called out for all her shit.
that makes me literally laugh. LOL. Like, you literally told me you taunted them for 8 hours, sent me all the screenshots of your conversations with them, which is, I reread them after that, and that's why I was like, wait a second, hold on. I don't
And
know who you are just as much as I don't know these people, because I don't know who you are anymore. So let me just like unplug and read the entire thing in its entirety and its context. And that's when I started watching your tea time videos. And I was like, these people are right.
when you read that, did you not see me over and over again? No, Patty. No,
Yeah. You said no like 20 times.
at
She's like,
least.
I wasn't going to stop till they brought me alive. Well, you got what you wanted.
And then she cries a victim.
Right.
Wow.
And then made a TikTok about it. So
Made a couple. She kept making TikToks.
she
Like,
kept
someone,
making it.
she made a fake video and then said somebody's watching me. I'm like, yo,
I know, Tracy. I know. I know. I know.
And I
Oh,
want to know how she expected her downline or in her 20,000, 23,000 plus,
those
you
are
know,
all Colleen's team. Give me a
team.
break.
I want to know how we were supposed to have any sort of respect left for her when she admitted that she had a false account and went after you guys. Like, that's the leader. That's who we're supposed to follow.
But according to compliance here in section 414, that's a violation of compliance. Just saying.
sure is.
But she probably told on herself ahead of time
Okay,
and
let's
asked
take a
for
poll vote real quick
forgiveness
though, Tracy, right?
from herself because she's got that power, right?
Let's take a vote, okay? When I was suspended or canceled on Tuesday and I came on tea time, how many of you in here think that if I would have told on myself, hey, by the way, I went on tea time because I was really upset that you suspended me on accident. If I would have actually emailed compliance telling them that I went on tea time to tell them that they unjustly canceled or suspended me, do you think I'd still be a consultant right now? Yes or no?
Of course not.
No.
No, absolutely not, because I don't profit them diddly. And that's facts.
Well, they better think twice about what Patty's profiting them because people are dropping like flies. And calling Nicole. Let's talk about her disgusting video about how she told people that we'll cut this team in half and you better make up your mind after new releases, of course, because I'm going to then cancel my imaginary list of people I have. Then the next day, this delusional bitch makes a post saying, I can't believe that you guys are messaging me and leaving this team.
Bye.
You fucking told them to. You gave them an ultimatum. So they said, F you, I'm leaving. Now you're devastated that they're leaving the team and they're messaging you, calling you a piece of shit? I can't.
Maybe it was all the Louis Vuitton and Gucci that she showed that turned people off.
Right? She said, I'm going to take a me day and I finally went shopping. And she can't get a fucking brush through her ratty ass hair, but she's going to go buy Louis and Gucci's and plaster them on her Facebook after she tells people, get the fuck out because I'm not tolerating your bullshit.
Bye. Like, do
Bye.
these people like not know the hand that feeds them? Like, I'm so confused by it. I treated my team great because I knew that like my team was why I was where I was. I don't know where these people didn't get that memo. You don't just ignore people when they need help with their business and then try to be like, why are you mad at me? I helped you with this. It's like, you're my freaking upline slash supposed to be my friend. Like, where are
Okay,
you
let's be
at?
real. It's not our business. None of it is really our business.
Nope.
Yeah,
It's all
I can't. I literally could not. I could not morally like stand by and continue down that road. I just couldn't do it. I knew that if I continued, because I got real close to hitting A-lister, and I knew if I continued that I would have to give away my morals to do it. I knew it. I
well,
cared too much about people.
Mo, at least you're not like Monica Cox, who admits it's a cult and can't stand the founders, but she still actively recruits and makes sure that her daughter falls at Misty Kirby's knees and cries in happiness that she's meeting the great Misty Kirby. So,
That's
there.
weird. That's really weird.
It's
Honestly, though, like
because money means more. She literally knows what she's doing to people. She admittedly says it is a cultish behavior, and she still recruits people to put money in her pocket. That is at least Patty is delusional. You know what
She's
I'm saying?
calculated. Yeah. That's
Yes.
crazy. That's you know what that is, Jerry? That's thank you for calling me Mo, by the way. Every time I hear you say Monica, I kind of cringe. I'm like,
I know.
so I'm Mo for now on, but
Yes,
It's
Mo.
my fault. I just wanted to say your whole name and be respectful, but she's Mo.
yeah,
Like, don't call her mom. I know.
it's all right. I came into your, I think it was Clubhouse the one night, and she was going ham on Monica Cox, and I was like, she was like, you can F all the way off, Monica. I was like, hey, I'm here to hang out. Like, just dropping by, but that's all right. But you know why people like that literally their god is money. That's how you can literally say and believe those things and still stay because God money is God. That's
Yep.
exactly what that is.
Yep.
And if the people watching this tea time episode think that the point of this is to bash particular people,
Mm-mm.
understand that was not the point of this. The point of this was to show
Fucking
you
right.
that this business is built on a cult-like system of misinformation, emotional blackmail,
Yo, it's bad.
favoritism, and lies.
Yeah. And I watched a person who was like I will tell you because Patty was like a very sweet, caring person before paparazzi. I can say that and sleep well at night. Like she was nice. Like I don't know what her other tendencies were. Like I don't know if like she was always like really good at like what she does. You know what I mean? But she was nice. She did care about me, at least as a person, unless that was an act too, because I hadn't seen her since high school. But like there was something about her that drew me to her and thought that she legitimately gave a shit. And obviously, as time went on, it told the true story that I was just part of a paycheck for her. And it actually really hurt, honestly.
She
Mo.
probably drank Taylor Kirby's Kool-Aid.
Mo, she is the epitome of narcissism, lies, and deceit. She will do anything and say anything to line her pocket.
It just sucks because I try to see the good in people. I really do. And sometimes it's to a fault because I give away more of myself to people than I should.
Oh,
And
me
like,
too. I was best friends with Monica fucking cocksucker for 4 years who
I
did
cocksucker.
fucking money. She did nothing for me. I literally trained her up in paparazzi under fucking team. I didn't get any money from her, and all she did was use me the whole time. Trust me, I know.
Do you feel like a doormat? Because I do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Literally. On a muddy fucking day is what it is. And you
Yeah.
know what? I'm not gonna stop. That is like that I have so much receipts on that dirty bitch saying how she's a cult. Oh my god, I'm so stressed out. I'm losing my hair. We need a plan B. Go check out Bellamy. I'm starting a team under Bellamy, but not under my name, under my sister-in-law.
Oh boy.
Oh, you have no idea. So
What the
yeah,
hell? You
yeah.
know, that conclusion I came to, like with money, why does somebody actually need to be like a 6 and 7 figure bling boss? I understand if you have a ground business where you actually personally like work from the ground up, but when you like go into a business like this where like your downline is basically your bread and butter, like you have to depend on your downline to get an income. Like, I just don't understand how you can put money over those people's feelings. Like, to me, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like,
Oh, that girl will walk over anybody to make a dollar. Her and Tommy eat a Dick Johnson. That woman is the fucking Tracy. That woman is the worst. The worst. Praying on Easter Sunday with her team, telling them if that they need to open up their pocket and buy inventory because they needed to rank in order for their business to be blessed. On Easter.
what the hell is that?
So Monica, being my friend, I catch wind and I say, Monica, that's gross. You should really cut it down. Monica Cox tells me, why should I? She's going to take the brunt of it and it's making me money.
Are you serious?
Dead. Dead serious.
Talk about backing up but that's kind of the same comment. Like, go ahead and do it, but if it comes back, I never heard anything from you. You're on your own.
Correct.
Well,
Basically
like
the
when
same
somebody
thing.
typed in during one of her Bible studies when she was telling us we weren't blessed enough to make money, we weren't doing enough to have our business blessed. Somebody decided to quote the Bible back at her and said, "The meek shall inherit the earth," and she
Mm-hmm.
said, "There won't be anything left for the meek."
Are you kidding me?
Where does it say that in the Bible?
I don't know. It's not in the one I have.
Pretty sure that's not a continuation of that
I
verse.
think
Like,
it's in the Gospel of Patty. I think
she
that's
actually said that.
And then
yes,
what? The actual fuck?
because she has her sights set on being a seven-figure earner by the end of this year.
That ain't happening, boo boo.
I know
Paparazzi's going
she
bye
got
bye
two
with the
weeks, right? What do we got?
Titanic.
10 days till the end of the year.
We're about here. Right before it splits, right there.
I can't wait.
Telling you.
Okay, so I hope all of you guys join us for the after tea party because we started really late and we're going to get into Clubhouse and do the after tea party. I cannot promise that there won't be F bombs because I'm really riled up and I tried my best, but it lasted about an hour, I think, or less. I
It's
don't.
progress.
That's progress.
Okay, so I got some PSAs before we peace out, right? The first PSA is we have a group on Facebook for recovering paparazzi consultants. It's literally called Recovering Paparazzi Consultants. If you're out of paparazzi and happy about it, there's over 2,000 people who are fed up with this fucking company
And
who
broke.
offer each
And
other
counting.
business tips, friendship, support, story swapping. It's just a group full of people trying to recover together from being scammed by the pyramid scheme that is motherfucking Paparazzi Accessories LLC. Okay? And also, we do Clubhouse after tea time. We do Tell Your Story Thursday where people just can come and if they want to get up on stage and talk about their experience, because not everybody wants to be on tea time and be on a video. I get that. Some people are concerned that if they get on, they're going to be targeted for harassment.
Bring it.
Oh, I can't wait
My
to see my
thoughts about that
inbox.
are join Clubhouse, name yourself whatever you want, come in there and get up and tell your story. You don't have to tell us your name. We're not there. We're not there to gather salacious gossip. We're there to give you an opportunity to speak your personal truth and get support from people who care about what happened to you, who want to support you and through the next steps, and who are literally your comrades in arms, right? The second PSA I want to make is that we have had some former members of the Recovering Paparazzi Consultants group, and I say former members because they're not part of our group anymore, who have been
Snakes
going
in the
on to certain paparazzi consultants who are current live shows and giving them a hard time about the lead and nickel in the jewelry because they feel very strongly that that fraud should not be continued to be perpetrated, and they're trying to bring awareness in their way. We as a group do not feel that that is the way to communicate or offer a hand up to people who are stuck in that company to help them make a decision to leave, to go on their live shows and give them a hard time. There is no current member of the Recovering Paparazzi Consultants group that is going on live shows and harassing current consultants. They may be using the hashtag crack the crown, but they
Ew.
are not our members. And I am not taking responsibility for their bullshit because that's not us. If you happen to get somebody pop on a live show of you or someone that you know and you message me and tell me who that person is, if they are someone who's currently in the group, they will be removed immediately because that's our policy. We're not there to harass current consultants. We're there to spread the truth about what that company has lied about, including the lead and nickel content in their jewelry, how they have treated their consultants, and the unfairness of it all, and to spread the word that they are not a good company to work for. That is all we're there for. We are not there to harass current consultants. So if
However,
someone comes on your show and does that, please let us know.
right. I will say this. I did for the first time in the history of social media go on a current consultant's live show who was saying that it was the consultants that passed away, it was their own damn fault, that it is not paparazzi company's fault, that it is ridiculous. She's tired of hearing it. She loves the company, and in the same time praising Jesus. I went on her live show to shut her the fuck down. That's the first time I've ever done it. I can't say I won't do it again. However, I have never gone on anybody's live show who was selling. If you call me an effing B on your live show, I won't show up. Thank you for the shout out. I agree. I am. And I'm your worst fucking nightmare too. Mention that. However, you're going to disrespect people who have passed away and say how much you love the company. I might pop up. I might pop up.
Oh, and those people aren't your friends, you're upline. They're not. They don't give a one crap about you for the most part.
There's going to be far and few in between, because I can guarantee you when you leave the company, the ones you think who are your friends are not going to be there because you're not making them money anymore.
Nope.
So, with that said, I also want to say that um, I had something there. I had it there. I do not use tea time for a monetary gain. I have never gone live with my boutique after tea time to sell, ever, because I'm too fucking tired. I have nothing harassed by people doing tea times. So all of you who are spreading lies, former paparazzi consultants and crack the crown eaters, saying that all of this is a ploy so I can get further in my business. Trust me, if I would have shut my pie hole and play nicey nicey, I would have been way more successful than I am now. That's not my personality, and you can fuck all the way off.
This is hilarious to me that you all think we're doing tea time for monetary gain. We go on Clubhouse right after and do an after party. We're not getting paid to do this. It's not like we're sponsored by anybody. We're doing this because we feel in our hearts that it is very important that the other side of this business be exposed, that the
Mm-hmm.
disgusting underbelly that is feeding all of the top of the pyramid leaders, the 6 and 7 figure bling bosses, be exposed. That if you are a cog in a machine that is grinding you down, if you are losing money, if you are treated poorly, if you are emotionally manipulated, if you are absolutely fed up but don't know where to go, that's what we talk about. People who've left, who've moved on, why they made those choices. Hopefully that you find some similarities in some situation where somebody comes on and says, this happened to me. So you can say, oh my gosh, I thought I was the only person that happened to.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a paying gig, people. Nobody that comes on tea time is bribed or threatened. No one is emotionally manipulated to come on here either. Most of the time, people request to come on themselves, but if we hear a really good story in Clubhouse, we might say, would you be willing to come on? Because I think your story is important and I would love for you to tell it. We've
Furthermore,
had former consultants who've come on and former tea time guests who then changed their story and said they were emotionally manipulated and are now trying to blame us because they were then canceled by paparazzi accessories and lost their income. They're trying to say that we manipulated them, lied, used their name poorly. They volunteered to come on to tea time, asked us to be there. You will, if you're a guest on tea time and a current consultant, almost definitely, unless you're Patty Shoveling, get canceled from paparazzi accessories. So far, everybody's got a pretty decent track record of being canceled for showing up, except for Patty.
Yeah.
furthermore,
Some people have been canceled for commenting.
Tracy and I go into great detail with our people who want to come on tea time and let them know what the after effects are going to be like, the harassment, the paparazzi bullying, and we let them know so that way they can make an informed decision. Oh my God, say it ain't so. An informed decision on what they want to do and what reality is on what's going to happen after this show. So again, all of you who are spreading untruths can fuck all the way off, because that's not a fact.
Well, and the difference is we'd actually get support from this group when the bullying and harassment starts.
Sure.
Yeah.
Unlike getting support, no support from paparazzi whatsoever.
None.
Well, and you guys really are just giving us our voices back.
And
Like,
that's the thing. The more people hear the same story from everybody, you can't make this up. And like you said, Mo, when you watch that video, you're like, holy shit, this is me. Finally, somebody is validating everything you felt in.
yeah,
It's finally being verbalized. And I do know that there's previous consultants who tried, they just didn't have the platform. I was lucky enough that I had a huge platform on social media, and their threats did not scare me. As a matter of fact, it fueled my soul into being more pissed off. So keep up the threats, because all you're doing is pissing me off more, and I'm going to talk more and more and more and reach more people. And everybody's going to start getting brave and standing up and saying, this is going to stop. We are now done. This is bullshit, and this is our truth. And you no longer have the power to tell me to shut up or say that I'm a liar.
yeah. It's been the truth for years, though. That's the thing. It's like we've been silenced because they've been literally threatening us with our commission checks. Like, that's the only reason I haven't said anything, because I've been using my commission checks to invest. Like, my family benefits off of me shutting up. And after starting to watch Tea Time and stuff, and I'm putting A, B, C, and D together, I start realizing, like, no, I need to speak up. I don't need the money, but I need to, like, speak, because I've been silenced for way too long. Told you guys I walked away almost 2 years ago, and I haven't said boo. If they were smart, they would have left me the hell alone, because I don't shut up either, and you can't pay me. You can't buy me.
And
Can't do
here's
it.
what they don't seem to get: we are not afraid of them. For 10 years, they have been in business. They have treated people like this.
Mm-hmm.
Social media has reached the point now where we have the ability to all come on at the same time and talk to a group of people.
Yep.
Maybe this is the perfect time. Clubhouse exists where people can all speak together in a room. You post a title and people just come in and talk about that thing, that subject. You cannot hide bullshit anymore. Too many people have had horrible experiences and now have a platform to be heard. Tea Time is just one platform. There's Twitter, there's Instagram Reels, there's TikTok, there's Clubhouse. There are so many
True.
platforms for people to tell their story. There might be, I don't know, a goddamn documentary. You think Tea Time reaches a lot of people now?
Just wait, boo. Just wait.
We're not finished. This is not the end.
We
This is the
haven't even
beginning.
we haven't even started. We haven't even started.
If you feel like we're too much,
Mm-hmm.
then don't watch. I mean, dip now, because this is the tip of the iceberg. This is the spark, not the fire.
The Titanic hasn't even started sinking yet.
That's
I
actually
mean,
true.
seriously, if you think we're a lot now,
Wait.
you really need to find something else to look at. Look
Yeah.
away.
You know, the
Because
moment
this fire is gonna burn your world down. We're
the
done.
moment the moment you're unjustly canceled, and then you realize, oh, I have a cousin that works in PR in New York City and knows every major news outlet or news anchor in the city. Oh, whoops, canceled the wrong person. I really hope someone from, like, corporate is watching this.
Oh, they are. They watch every single one. She
You
actually
know what's funny?
watches.
Um, a really nice lady named Roberta Blevins. You might have seen her on LuLaRich. Might, just might, have given me some suggestions about, I don't know, some connections to all the folks she worked on for that. I I don't know, little series that was #1 on Amazon.
Oops, you did it again.
And then there's that new one on Discovery.
Oops. Oops. Talk about coming back to
Somebody's
bite you,
uncle,
huh?
somebody's uncle might have been married to a casting director in Hollywood for about 25 years.
Oops again.
Might know a whole lot of filmmakers.
Look at that.
Friendly
Imagine that,
terms.
Tracy. People who actually care about other people actually might have big pulls in the corporate world. Wow,
Because
what
even
a
if those
shock.
individuals are not interested in the justice of it all, Lularich made a whole lot of money.
Hmm.
So if greed works in our favor, like it worked against us for all these years, wouldn't that be hilarious
I call that
and karma,
justice. I call that justice.
right?
Because somebody needs to stick up for all the injustice that's been going on.
Oh, trust
And the
me,
fact that you two took that first step gave
coming.
everybody else, including myself, the ability to have a voice. So thank you for that.
Yes, I appreciate you two more than you could ever imagine.
And we appreciate you for coming on because without you, people would be sick of listening to us by now.
Never.
Not me.
Because you all are brave enough to come on. Every time somebody comes on, we learn something we did not know before. But somebody else knew that too and felt alone.
Correct.
So,
Mhm.
Faith, when you heard people tell you that you were not going to be accommodated at a corporate event, you
That's
were not the only
ridiculous.
person that was told that message, but maybe they had no one else on their team.
Oh, don't cry.
Maybe they had no one else on their team who would stick up for them either. But you are not alone. You are not the only person who was told that, and it's disgusting.
Absolutely.
Mo, when you had a team of hardworking people who went all in on a contest hoping to win something, and then only to be told by somebody above you that they were just going to go ahead and hand select the person that was going to win, you're not the only person that happened to. Those people are vindicated now knowing what they suspected.
Girl, don't cry. You make me want to hug you. I love that your
No,
name is
I'm
Faith.
so proud of you both for coming on here and telling your stories because no one has to do that. But by coming on here, you made someone else feel like they were not alone. And that is the most generous thing you can do because by sharing your story, you gave the gift of companionship and understanding to someone else. And we appreciate you both very much.
Oh, the
Thank
truth
you.
will set you free, though, for real. It really does. I have to go, though. I got to help my husband wrangle my kids. I hear them running up there. But thank you guys for your time, Faith.
We
I'm sending
appreciate
you
you.
Thank you.
hugs. You have a
Thank you.
family here, so you're not. You're with a bunch of people who actually care. You're no longer with people who only care about themselves. So,
And we
That's
have
right.
nothing to gain from the relationships and the friendships we have. There's no monetary gain. We're not using people for money. It's real. So we'll see you guys in Clubhouse.
Everybody's welcome to come to Clubhouse for the after party. Otherwise, I hope everybody enjoys the holiday. If you are a person that celebrates Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. Today happens to be solstice. If you celebrate that, happy solstice. Um, we'll see you next Tuesday. Peace out.
Bye, everybody.